The Power of Silence Victory, Mastering Life Through Stillness, Strength and Self-Control. The book written by Peter A. Saul, published by Audiobooks, LOA, The Unseen Battlefield. Have you ever noticed that the loudest person in the room is usually the weakest, always talking, always proving something, always chasing validation? But the strongest person, the one who moves in silence, that's the one who truly wins. This book, The Power of Silence, is your guide to harnessing that quiet strength, to control your words, master your thoughts, regulate your emotions, and achieve financial mastery. This is your audiobook to a more powerful, purposeful life. We noticed that 85% of you who listen to our video are not yet subscribed to the channel. Please help support the channel by hitting the subscribe button. And like the video. Thanks for inspiring us to create more content for you. Now let's begin. Part 1. The Foundation of Inner Power. Embracing Silence. Chapter 1. The Unspoken Strength. Embracing the Power of Silence. Life has a way of giving you exactly what you need, but only if you learn to be still, to be quiet, to trust the process. Silence is not just the absence of words, but the presence of awareness. This chapter explores the fundamental benefits of silence and why silence is important for taking back control. Have you ever stood in a room, amidst the clamor, the endless chatter, and felt a profound sense of emptiness? Not in the silence, but in the noise itself. We're taught to speak up, to make our presence known, to fill every available second with words, opinions, justifications. We believe, or have been led to believe, that volume equates to value, that the one who talks the most, the loudest, somehow holds the most power. But I'm here to tell you that's a lie, a carefully constructed illusion. This chapter, this entire book you're holding, is about dismantling that illusion. It's about introducing you to a force so potent, so transformative, that it has been the secret weapon of the truly strong. Throughout history, I'm talking about the power of silence. Life, you see, has a rhythm, a divine intelligence. It's constantly offering guidance, solutions, the very things you're desperately seeking. But its voice is a whisper, not a roar. It unfolds with precision, giving you exactly what you need at exactly the right time. But there's a condition, a fundamental requirement. You have to learn to be still. You have to learn to be quiet. You have to learn to trust the process, even when the world around you is screaming for your attention, for your reaction. Think about it. When do you truly hear yourself? When do the answers you've been chasing finally surface? Is it when you're frantically explaining, desperately proving, or endlessly debating? Or is it in those rare, precious moments of stillness when this internal and external noise subsides and a deeper clarity emerges? This is why silence is important. It's not merely the absence of words, that's just the surface. True silence, the kind we're going to explore, is the presence of profound awareness. It's a space you cultivate, a sanctuary where you can observe without judgment, listen without interruption, and understand without the filter of ego or expectation. The fundamental benefits of silence are not just about feeling calmer, though that is certainly one. It's about reclaiming your power. The moment you choose silence over the compulsive need to speak, to defend, to validate, is the moment you begin to take back control. Control over your reactions. Instead of being a puppet to every provocation, silence gives you the pause, the space to choose your response. This is the first step to control your words, because you learn the power of not speaking. Control over your energy. Constant talking, especially in unproductive or negative conversations, is draining. Silence conserves your precious mental and emotional resources, allowing you to direct them where they truly matter. Control over the narrative. When you're silent, you're not feeding into others' dramas or misconceptions. You're allowing reality to unfold, and often the truth to reveal itself without your intervention. This power of silence is the bedrock upon which you can begin to master your thoughts. When the external noise fades, the internal chatter becomes more discernible. You can then begin to sift through it, to identify the thoughts that serve you and those that sabotage you. This journey into silence is not about becoming passive or invisible. Far from it. It's about becoming strategically potent. It's about understanding that true strength doesn't need to announce itself with a bullhorn. It resonates from a core of quiet confidence, a deep well of self-awareness that is nurtured in stillness. In this chapter, we lay the groundwork. We acknowledge the societal conditioning that pushes us towards noise, and we begin to understand that embracing silence is an act of rebellion against that superficiality. It's an act of profound personal growth. It's the initial, critical step in a journey that will provide you with immense motivation to transform not just how you communicate, but how you live. So, let the world chatter. Let the loud ones exhaust themselves. You are here to learn a different way, a more powerful way. You are here to embrace the unspoken strength, to unlock the power of silence, and in doing so, to truly begin to take control of your life. Let that sink in. This is not just another concept. This is a foundational truth, and it starts now. Chapter 2, The Listener's Edge. Gaining wisdom through quiet observation. When you stop talking, you start listening, not just to words, but to what isn't being said, to the energy, to hidden motives. This is a core aspect of the power of silence. Audiobook experience, learning to observe and understand before reacting, all right? So you've taken that first step. You've acknowledged that there's a power in stillness, a strength in holding back the tide of words. Good. That's more than most people ever do. But understanding the concept of the power of silence is one thing. Wielding it, truly benefiting from its depth, that's another game entirely. And it starts with one fundamental shift. You have to stop talking so much so you can finally start listening. And I'm not just talking about hearing the sounds people make with their mouths. Any fool can do that. I'm talking about a different kind of listening, a deeper listening, the kind that only comes when you cultivate an inner quiet, when you master the urge to interrupt, to interject, to fill every pause with your own noise. When you stop talking, you start listening, and I mean truly listening. This is where the power of silence audiobook experience really begins to transform you. It's where you develop what I call the listener's edge. What is this edge? It's the ability to perceive beyond the superficial, listening to what isn't being said. People often communicate more in their hesitations, their omissions, their body language, than they do in their actual words. The loudest messages are often unspoken. Are they avoiding eye contact? Is there a tremor in their voice when they discuss a certain topic? What are they not addressing? Silence on your part creates the space for these subtleties to become glaringly obvious. Most people are too busy formulating their next sentence to ever pick up on these crucial cues. Listening to the energy in the room. Every interaction, every environment has an energy. Is it tense? Is it open? Is there an undercurrent of deceit or genuine connection? When you're wrapped up in your own dialogue, you're deaf to these energetic frequencies. But when you're quiet, observant, you become a finely tuned instrument, capable of sensing the true atmosphere. This is a vital benefit of silence. You become attuned to the invisible currents that dictate outcomes. Listening to hidden motives. Why is this person saying what they're saying? What do they truly want? Are their words aligned with their actions, or is there a disconnect? People reveal their motives, often unconsciously, if you give them the space and the silence to do so. The incessant talker misses these tells, caught up in their own performance. The silent observer, however, sees the game being played. This is a critical understanding for anyone seeking personal growth and genuine connection. This isn't about being suspicious of everyone. It's about being discerning. It's about developing a level of awareness that protects you, that informs you, that gives you an advantage. This is a core aspect of the power of silence, learning to observe and understand. Before reacting, think of the most effective negotiators, leaders, or even just wise individuals you know. They're not the ones constantly dominating the conversation. They're the ones who listen intently, who absorb information, who read the room, and then, when they do speak, their words land with precision and impact. They've gathered the intelligence that silence affords. Most people are broadcasting their weaknesses, their insecurities, their entire game plan simply because they can't stand the quiet. They feel the need to fill it, to assert themselves, to prove their worth. Let them. While they're busy talking, you're busy learning. While they're busy explaining, you're busy understanding. This practice, this cultivation of quiet observation, is not passive. It's an active engagement with reality on a much deeper level. It requires focus, discipline, and a willingness to put your own ego aside. It means valuing understanding over being understood, at least initially. Consider this chapter of the Power of Silence book your training ground. Practice active silence in your next conversation. Intentionally speak less. Focus on truly hearing what the other person is saying and what they aren't saying. Notice your urge to interrupt and consciously resist it. Observe the nonverbal. Pay attention to body language, tone of voice, eye contact. What are these telling you that the words might be missing? Reflect before responding. When it is your turn to speak, take a moment. Let the information settle. Respond thoughtfully, not just reactively. This isn't just about gaining an edge over others. It's about gaining wisdom. It's about moving through the world with a greater sense of clarity and understanding. The world is full of noise, full of people vying for attention. The listener's edge, born from silence, allows you to cut through that noise and connect with the truth. That, my friend, is real power. That is the motivation to make silence your ally. Chapter 3. The Art of Restraint. Why true strength doesn't need to shout. Most people can't handle silence. They talk because they fear it, feel invisible, or think being louder makes them stronger. True strength isn't about how much you say. It's about what you do in moments of restraint. This is a key motivation from the Power of Silence motivation theme. We live in a world that celebrates the spectacle, the loudest voice in the debate, the most flamboyant personality on the screen, the one who makes the most noise. They're the ones who often grab the spotlight. And because of this, many have come to believe that noise equals strength, that visibility at all costs equals power. They're wrong. Dead wrong. This chapter delves into a truth that often goes unspoken, a principle that underpins the power of silence, the profound, unshakable power found in the art of restraint. Most people can't handle silence. Let that sink in. It makes them uncomfortable, antsy. Why? They talk because they fear it. Silence forces introspection. It brings them face to face with their own thoughts, their insecurities, the things they'd rather not confront. So they fill the void with words, any words, to escape that inner reckoning. They talk because they feel invisible. In a noisy world, some believe that if they're not making sound, they don't exist. They don't matter. They equate being heard with being seen, and being seen with being valued. Their talk is a desperate plea. Look at me, acknowledge me. They talk because they think being louder makes them stronger. This is the most common fallacy. They mistake aggression for assertion, volume for validity. They believe that by overpowering others verbally, they establish dominance. In reality, they often reveal their lack of genuine control, their insecurity masked by bluster. But you're learning a different path. You're beginning to understand that true strength isn't about how much you say. It's about what you do in the moments of restraint. It's about the quiet discipline, the unruffled composure, the ability to hold your ground, to hold your peace, when everything around you is chaos. This is a key motivation from the Power of Silence motivation theme. It's not about suppressing your voice forever, but about choosing your moments with wisdom. It's about understanding that sometimes the most powerful statement you can make is no statement at all. Consider the lion. Does it roar constantly to prove its kingship? No. Its power is inherent, understood by its mere presence, its calm, watchful gaze. It acts with precision when necessary, but much of its dominance is conveyed through a powerful, dignified silence. The art of restraint, as taught in this Power of Silence book, involves resisting the urge to react impulsively. When provoked, when challenged, when misunderstood, the average person lashes out, defends, explains endlessly. The strong individual, practiced in restraint, takes a breath. They observe, they assess, they don't allow another's agitation to become their own. This is a foundational step to control your words and, by extension, manage your emotions. Audiobook style, choosing your battles wisely. Not every hill is worth dying on. Not every argument is worth engaging in. Restraint teaches you to conserve your energy for what truly matters. The loud person fights every perceived slight, draining themselves and achieving little. The person who masters restraint focuses their power strategically, the power of the unspoken boundary. Sometimes words are unnecessary to establish a boundary. A calm, unwavering silence in the face of disrespect can be far more impactful than a tirade. It communicates self-respect and a refusal to engage on a lower level. This is a subtle but potent benefit of silence, letting others reveal themselves. When you exercise restraint and don't rush to fill silences or direct the conversation, you create a vacuum, and people, uncomfortable with that vacuum, will often rush to fill it, revealing their intentions, their anxieties, their true character, as we touched upon in the previous chapter. Your restraint becomes their stage. This isn't about weakness or passivity. It's about immense inner control. It takes far more strength to remain calm and silent under pressure than it does to explode. It takes discipline to bite your tongue when you're burning to speak. It takes wisdom to know when your silence will speak louder and more effectively than any words you could utter. This is why silence is important. It cultivates that inner fortitude. It builds a core of resilience that doesn't need external validation or the approval that comes from winning a verbal spar. True strength is self-contained, self-assured. So observe those who shout the loudest. See the insecurity, the fear, the neediness often lurking beneath the surface. And then look to those who move with quiet confidence, who speak with intention, who possess the art of restraint. See the genuine power, the unshakable calm. That is the model. That is the goal. Embrace the art of restraint. Understand that your capacity for silence, your ability to hold back, to observe, to choose your moment is not a sign of weakness, but the hallmark of a truly powerful individual. This is not just a lesson, it's a transformation, and it's a vital part of unlocking the power of silence. Chapter 4. The weight of your words, the impact of intention and experience. Think about leaders and visionaries. They don't waste words. When they speak, people listen because their words carry weight, born from experience, wisdom, and intention. This chapter, inspired by the Power of Silence book, delves into making your words count. We've talked about the strength found in restraint, in choosing silence over noise. But let's be clear, the power of silence is not about eternal muteness. It's not about never speaking your truth or sharing your vision. Far from it. The ultimate aim of cultivating inner quiet, of mastering the art of listening and restraint, is to ensure that when you do choose to speak, your words land with undeniable impact. Your words carry weight. Think about the leaders and visionaries you admire most, the true titans, not the fleeting pretenders. Do they fill the air with ceaseless chatter, with empty promises, with rambling explanations? No, they are often masters of economy in speech. They don't waste words. They don't speak to hear themselves talk. When they speak, people listen, not because they are the loudest, but because their words possess a certain gravity, a resonance that commands attention. Why? Because their words are not hollow. They are not born from a need for validation or a fear of invisibility. Their words are forged in the crucible of experience, tempered by wisdom, and delivered with clear intention. This chapter, inspired by the very essence of the power of silence book philosophy, delves into how you can cultivate that same weight in your own communication, making your words count every single time you open your mouth. The silence you've been learning to embrace is the very training ground for this. Here's how. Silence filters the frivolous. When you practice being quiet, when you resist the urge to speak on every minor thought or impulse, you begin to discern what truly needs to be said versus what is mere noise. This internal filtering process, honed in silence, means that when you do decide to articulate something, it's more likely to be substantial, thoughtful, and relevant. You're not just adding to the din, you're contributing value. Silence allows for deep processing and experience integration. True experience isn't just about what happens to you, it's about what you learn and integrate from what happens. Silence provides the mental space for this deep processing. Instead of rushing from one experience or conversation to the next, quiet reflection allows you to extract the lessons, to understand the nuances. When you later speak from this integrated experience, your words have an authenticity and depth that cannot be faked. This is a significant benefit of silence. Silence clarifies intention. Why are you about to speak? What is your desired outcome? Is it to inform, to inspire, to persuade, to connect, or simply to vent? The practice of pausing in silence before speaking allows you to connect with your true intention. Words spoken with clear, positive intention resonate differently. They carry a conviction that an audience can feel. The person who speaks without clear intention often speaks aimlessly, and their words dissipate like smoke. Silence cultivates wisdom. Wisdom isn't just accumulated knowledge. It's knowledge applied with understanding, discernment, and foresight. This kind of understanding blossoms in quiet contemplation, in listening more than speaking, in observing the world and human nature without the distraction of constant self-expression. The silence where you observe, listen, and reflect is where wisdom takes root, and words spoken from a place of wisdom have an enduring power. This is central to the power of silence motivation. The person who talks incessantly rarely says anything of true consequence. Their words are like a scattered shotgun blast, wide but shallow. The person who has mastered the use of silence, however, speaks with the precision of a sniper. Fewer words, perhaps, but each one hits the mark. This isn't about crafting perfect, eloquent speeches every time. It's about a fundamental shift in your approach to communication, from quantity to quality. Value the impact of your words over the volume of them, from reaction to deliberation. Let silence be the space where you choose your words, rather than letting your words choose you in a moment of reactivity. From ego to purpose, speak to serve a purpose, to add value, to connect genuinely. Not just to make yourself heard or feel important. This aligns with the need to control your words. Audiobook principles teach. When you understand that your words have the power to build or destroy, to heal or to hurt, to inspire or to discourage, you begin to treat them with the respect they deserve. And the foundation for that respect, for that weighty impact, is built in the disciplined practice of silence. So, as you continue on this journey, remember, the quiet moments are not empty. They are formative. They are where you gather your strength, your insights, your experience, and your wisdom, so that when the time comes to speak, your words will not just be heard, they will be felt, they will have weight, they will make a difference. That is the true power of communication, born from the power of silence. Chapter 5. Reading Between the Lines, How Silence Reveals True Character. When you're always speaking, you can't observe, analyze, or read between the lines. Silence creates space for people to reveal their true nature. You don't have to ask if they're loyal. Just watch. This is a lesson often found in full audiobooks on human nature. We've explored how silence builds your inner strength and refines the words you choose to speak. Now we turn that lens outward. Because the power of silence isn't just about self-mastery, it's a profound tool for understanding the world and the people in it. And one of its most potent applications is in revealing true character. You see, most people wear masks. They present a curated version of themselves, especially when they're talking, when they're on. They tell you what they think you want to hear, or what makes them look good. But character, true character, isn't found in the prepared speech or the carefully crafted response. It's revealed in the unguarded moments, in the subtle signals, in the spaces between the words. When you're always speaking, you can't observe, analyze, or read between the lines. Your mind is occupied with formulating your own thoughts, your own rebuttals, your own narrative. You're so busy broadcasting that you miss the crucial transmissions coming from others. You're in the conversation, but you're not truly seeing the person in front of you. But when you embrace strategic silence, something remarkable happens. Silence creates space for people to reveal their true nature. It's like turning down the volume on a noisy radio. Suddenly, you can hear the fainter, more authentic sounds that were previously drowned out. This is a lesson deeply embedded in the wisdom found in full audiobooks on human nature, and it's a cornerstone of the power of silence book you're journeying through. The discomfort of silence is revealing. As we've discussed, many people are uncomfortable with silence. When you hold that space, when you don't rush to fill it, observe what they do. Do they become agitated? Do they start talking nervously, filling the void with trivialities, perhaps revealing more than they intend? Do they try to steer the conversation back to safer, more superficial ground? Their reaction to your silence is a window into their inner state. Actions in the quiet speak volumes. Words can be cheap, promises can be empty, but actions, especially those taken when someone thinks no, one is paying close attention because you're being quiet, observing, are far more telling. You don't have to ask if they're loyal, just watch. How do they treat others when they think you're not looking? How do they handle responsibility when the spotlight is off? Your quiet observation allows their actions to speak for themselves, uncolored by their verbal justifications. Non-verbal cues become magnified. When you're not distracted by the need to speak, your senses sharpen. You become more attuned to the nuances of body language, facial expressions, and vocal tone. Is there a mismatch between their words and their demeanor? Do their eyes dart away when discussing a sensitive topic? Does their voice crack under pressure? These are the tells that the constant talker misses. Silence makes you a keen observer of these nonverbal truths. This is a practical benefit of silence. Patterns emerge over time. True character isn't revealed in a single instance, but inconsistent patterns of behavior. By practicing quiet observation over time, you begin to see these patterns. Does someone consistently overpromise and underdeliver? Are they always shifting blame? Or are they consistently reliable, empathetic, and honest, even when it's difficult? Your silence allows you the sustained focus to recognize these recurring themes, which are far more indicative of character than any isolated statement. This provides the motivation to continue your practice. They show you who they are when you stop performing for their approval. Many interactions are a dance of validation seeking. When you stop seeking their approval through constant talk, when you stop performing for them and simply hold your space in silence, you change the dynamic. How do they react? Do they respect your quiet confidence? Or do they try to provoke a reaction, to pull you back into the old patterns where they felt more in control? Their response to your self-possessed silence is incredibly revealing. This isn't about becoming a cold, judgmental observer. It's about developing discernment. It's about protecting your energy, making informed decisions about who you allow into your inner circle, and navigating relationships with clarity rather than naivety. The world is full of people who will tell you anything, but character is not told. It is shown. And it is most clearly shown when the stage is quiet, when the performer is unscripted, when they believe the audience is distracted. Your journey with the power of silence equips you to be that discerning audience. You learn to listen with more than your ears, to see with more than your eyes. You learn to trust the patterns, the energies, the unspoken truths that silence illuminates. This skill, the ability to read between the lines and perceive true character, is invaluable. It will save you from heartache, from betrayal, and from wasted time. It will guide you towards genuine connections and away from the deceptive. Embrace this power. It is one of the most profound gifts of silence. Chapter 6. The Chess Game of Life. Strategic Silence for Winning Moves. Life, like a chess game, rewards those who don't make reckless moves or announce their strategy. The one who stays quiet and observes, like in the best audiobooks full length. On strategy always stays ahead. Life, in many ways, is like a grandmaster's chessboard. Every decision, every interaction, every move you make or don't make has consequences. There are opponents, overt and hidden. There are opportunities, disguised and obvious. And just like in chess, the loudest player, the one who telegraphs every thought and intention, is rarely the one who emerges victorious. This chapter is about understanding the power of silence, not just as a tool for inner peace or character assessment, but as a profound strategic weapon. Life, like a chess game, rewards those who don't make reckless moves or announce their strategy. The impulsive, the verbose, the emotionally reactive. They're playing checkers, while the masters are engaged in a far more sophisticated game. The one who stays quiet and observes, like the protagonist in the best audiobooks full length on strategy, always stays ahead. Why? Because strategic silence gives you a multitude of advantages on this complex board, concealing your intentions. The chess player who loudly proclaims, "I'm going to move my knight here to attack your queen," has already lost a significant advantage. Similarly, in life, those who constantly broadcast their plans, their ambitions, their next steps, give their opponents, whether they be competitors, detractors, or simply unforeseen obstacles, ample time and information to counter them. Strategic silence keeps your hand hidden. It allows you to prepare, to position, to build, without alerting those who might seek to undermine you. Let them wonder. Let them assume. Your silence is your shield. Gathering intelligence. While others are busy talking, filling the air with their own strategies and opinions, the silent strategist is listening, observing, gathering crucial data. They study the board, the environment, the players, the undercurrents. They learn their opponent's patterns, their strengths, their weaknesses, all gleaned from the information freely given by those who don't understand the value of restraint. This is a primary benefit of silence for any aspiring strategist. Creating calculated pauses. In chess, a well-timed pause can unsettle an opponent, force them to reconsider, or even lead them into a mistake. In life, strategic silence can have the same effect, Resisting the urge to respond immediately to a provocation, a proposal, or a challenge gives you time to think, to assess the full implications. It can also make the other party anxious, perhaps revealing more of their position or becoming more pliable. This disciplined pause, born from silence, is a mark of a master player. Avoiding unforced errors. Many of life's setbacks are self-inflicted, born from hasty words or impulsive actions. The pressure to always be doing something, saying something, can lead to reckless moves. Strategic silence is the antidote. It's the discipline to wait for the right moment, the right opportunity, the optimal conditions before making your move. The loud player often stumbles over their own rushed pronouncements. The silent player moves with considered precision. This is why silence is important for avoiding costly mistakes. The power of underestimation. Those who are constantly boasting, grandstanding, and making noise are often perceived, at least initially, as forces to be reckoned with. The quiet, observant individual, however, can sometimes be underestimated, and in the chess game of life, being underestimated can be a powerful advantage. It allows you to operate, to advance, to achieve, often unnoticed until your position is unassailable. This is a subtle form of power of silence motivation, using quietness to your tactical benefit. Maintaining emotional equilibrium. Chess requires immense mental fortitude and emotional control. A player who succumbs to frustration or panic is prone to errors. Silence, as we've learned, is a cornerstone of emotional regulation. By cultivating inner quiet, you remain calm under pressure, able to think clearly and strategically even when the stakes are high. The emotionally volatile player telegraphs their instability. The silent player projects an aura of unshakable control. This is crucial to control your words and actions during critical moments. This Power of Silence book isn't teaching you to be manipulative or deceitful. It's teaching you to be wise. It's teaching you to understand the dynamics of power, influence, and human interaction. It's about recognizing that in many of life's most critical junctures, what you don't say, what you don't reveal, is just as important, if not more so, than what you do. Think of your goals, your ambitions. Are you loudly announcing every step, inviting commentary, criticism, and potential interference? Or are you working quietly, diligently, building your foundation in silence, preparing to make your move when the time is right, when your preparations are complete? The loudest piece on the chessboard is often the first one captured. The player who thinks 3 moves ahead in quiet contemplation is the one who dictates the game. Let this chapter be a reminder. In the intricate chess game of life, your greatest strategic asset might just be your ability to stay quiet, to observe, and to make your winning moves in silence. That's how you truly stay ahead. Chapter 7. Clarity in Quiet. How silence separates the strong from the weak. Silence brings clarity, and clarity is what separates the strong from the weak. This chapter explores how quiet contemplation allows you to see opportunities, intentions, and shifts before they become obvious. In the relentless storm of modern life, with its constant barrage of information, opinions, and demands, the mind can easily become clouded, confused, and reactive. We are pulled in 1,000 directions, our focus shattered, our judgment compromised. In this state of mental fog, it's easy to make poor decisions, to miss vital signals, and to be swept along by currents not of our own choosing. This, my friends, is the state of the weak. Not weak in body, perhaps, but weak in mind, weak in discernment. But there is an antidote, a powerful solvent for this mental murk. It is, as you are coming to understand, the power of silence, because silence brings clarity, and clarity is what separates the strong from the weak. The strong individual, the one who truly navigates life, with purpose and power, doesn't operate from a place of confusion or reactivity. They operate from a place of profound clarity, clarity of thought, clarity of purpose, clarity of vision. And this clarity is almost invariably cultivated in the fertile ground of quiet contemplation. This chapter explores how that quiet, that deliberate withdrawal from the noise, allows you to see the world with a sharpness and insight that is simply unavailable to those caught in the perpetual whirlwind. Quiet contemplation allows you to see opportunities, intentions, and shifts before they become obvious to the undiscerning eye. Cutting through the noise to find truth. The world is full of experts, opinions, and conflicting information. It's easy to get lost. Silence acts as a filter. When you quiet the external voices, and more importantly, the internal chatter of anxiety and doubt, you create the space to connect with your own intuition, your own deep-seated wisdom. This inner knowing, unclouded by external pressures, is where true clarity about your path, your decisions, and the truth of a situation resides. This is a core benefit of silence. Identifying opportunities in stillness. Opportunities rarely announce themselves with a marching band. Often they are subtle, appearing as faint signals or emerging patterns that only a focused, uncluttered mind can perceive. The person whose mind is constantly racing, filled with the noise of endless tasks and worries, will walk right past these nascent chances. But in the silence of focused attention, you begin to notice the gaps, the unmet needs, the emerging trends, the very seeds of opportunity. This is why silence is important for innovation and advancement. Discerning true intentions with unwavering focus. As we discussed earlier, silence helps reveal character. It also sharpens your ability to discern the true intentions behind people's words and actions. When your mind is clear, free from the distortion of your own emotional reactions or preconceived notions, you can observe others with a more objective lens. You pick up on the subtle inconsistencies, the hidden agendas, the unspoken desires that a cluttered mind would overlook. This clarity protects you and empowers your interactions. Sensing shifts before they become storms. Life is in constant flux. Circumstances change, relationships evolve, and dynamics shift. The weak are often caught off guard by these changes, reacting with panic or confusion when the storm finally hits. The strong, however, cultivate a sensitivity to these shifts before they escalate. This sensitivity is nurtured in silence, in the practice of being present and aware. A clear, quiet mind can sense the subtle tremors, the slight changes in atmospheric pressure, giving you time to prepare, adapt, or even steer clear. This is a vital survival skill, sharpened by the power of silence. Achieving clarity of purpose. What do you truly want? Why are you here? What is your unique contribution? These profound questions cannot be answered amidst the cacophony of daily life. They require deep introspection, a journey inward that can only be undertaken in silence. When you strip away the external expectations and the internal noise, your true purpose begins to emerge with crystal clarity. And a person aligned with their purpose moves with a strength and conviction that is undeniable. This clarity is the ultimate power of silence motivation. The weak are tossed about by the winds of circumstance and the opinions of others because they lack an internal anchor of clarity. They react to the surface-level noise. The strong, however, have cultivated the discipline of silence. They retreat into that inner sanctum to find their bearings, to sharpen their perception, to connect with a deeper truth. This power of silence. Book is your guide to developing that discipline. It's not about becoming a hermit, but about integrating moments of profound quiet into your life, understanding that these moments are not downtime, but essential uptime for your mind and spirit. When your mind is clear, your decisions are better, your actions are more purposeful, your path forward is illuminated. Silence is the key that unlocks this clarity. And with that clarity, you transition from being a pawn of circumstance to a powerful player, capable of shaping your own destiny. This is the true demarcation between the strong and the weak. Choose strength, choose clarity, choose silence. Chapter 8. The undeniable presence, commanding respect without a word. Real power doesn't need to announce itself, it's felt. It's in presence, in action, in the ability to sit in silence and still command attention. This is a core tenet of the Power of Silence audiobooks. We've journeyed through the strategic and perceptual advantages of the power of silence. Now, we arrive at one of its most profound manifestations, the creation of an undeniable presence, the ability to command respect. Not through volume or aggression, but through the sheer weight of your being. Listen closely, because this is a truth that the world, in its obsession with noise and self-promotion, often forgets. Real power doesn't need to announce itself. It's felt. It's not in the boastful claims or the desperate clamoring for the spotlight. It's in the quiet confidence, the centered stillness, the unwavering gaze of someone who knows their worth and doesn't need to shout it from the rooftops. It's in presence, in action, in the ability to sit in silence and still command attention. This is a core tenet you'll find woven through the fabric of the best Power of Silence audiobooks, and it's what separates the truly influential from the merely loud. Think of those individuals who walk into a room and, without uttering a single syllable, shift its entire dynamic. Heads turn, conversations pause. There's a palpable sense of focus directed towards them. What is this quality? It's not their fancy clothes or their job title, though those might play a part. It's something deeper. It's the resonance of their inner state, cultivated, in large part, through the disciplined practice of silence. Here's how embracing silence forges this undeniable presence. Silence cultivates inner stillness, projecting outer calm. The person who is constantly agitated on the inside, whose mind is a whirlwind of anxious thoughts, projects that chaos outward. They seem restless, unfocused, easily flustered. Conversely, the individual who has cultivated inner silence, who can sit comfortably with their own thoughts and emotions, radiates an aura of calm and self-possession. This calm is magnetic. It signals strength, stability, and control, qualities that naturally command respect, focused energy, not scattered noise. As we've established, constant talking often scatters energy. Silence, on the other hand, allows you to gather and focus your internal resources. This concentrated energy creates a more potent presence. You're not diluted, you're distilled. People can sense this focused intensity even if they can't articulate it. It's the difference between a floodlight, diffuse and broad, and a laser beam, concentrated and powerful. This is a tangible benefit of silence. The scarcity of your words gives them value. In a world overflowing with words, the person who speaks sparingly and intentionally stands out. When you don't offer your opinion on every trivial matter, when you don't feel the need to fill every conversational gap, your words, when finally spoken, acquire a greater perceived value. People lean in. They listen more intently because they know you're not just making noise. You have something of substance to say. Your silence primes them to receive your words with respect. Projecting self-mastery, not neediness. The person who can comfortably sit in silence in a group setting, without fidgeting or feeling compelled to speak, projects an image of self-mastery. They are not dependent on external validation or the approval of others to feel secure. This self-assuredness is inherently respectable. Conversely, the person who constantly seeks attention through chatter often betrays an underlying neediness. which subtly erodes respect. This is why silence is important for demonstrating true confidence. Action speaks louder than words, and silence amplifies. Action, when your presence is established through quiet competence and integrity, your actions take on greater significance. You're not the person who talks a good game, but fails to deliver. You're the one who, often working in silence, achieves results. And when results are evident, respect follows naturally, often without a word needing to be spoken about your accomplishments. Your track record, built often in quiet diligence, becomes your loudest statement. This is a key power of silence motivation. This isn't about adopting an aloof or arrogant demeanor. Arrogance is often a mask for insecurity, just like excessive talking. This is about cultivating a genuine, grounded presence, rooted in self-awareness, inner peace, and the quiet confidence that comes from knowing you don't need to prove anything to anyone. Your ability to command respect without a word is a direct reflection of the inner work you do in silence. It's about controlling your inner state, so your outer presence is calm and centered. This is where you master your thoughts and manage your emotions audiobook style, knowing your value, so you don't feel the need to constantly advertise it. Listening more than you speak, so you understand the dynamics before you engage. This Power of Silence book isn't just about techniques. It's about transformation. It's about becoming the kind of person whose very being commands attention and respect, not because you demand it, but because you embody it. Practice sitting in silence. Practice observing. Practice being fully present without the need to dominate. The verbal space. You will begin to notice a shift, not just within yourself, but in how others respond to you. They will lean in. They will listen more carefully. They will treat you with a different level of regard. That is the power of an undeniable presence forged in the quiet strength of silence. Chapter 9. Silence as a weapon, filtering noise and conserving energy. The quietest people are often the most powerful, not because they have nothing to say, but because they're watching, analyzing. Silence is a weapon against unnecessary noise, arguments and wasted explanations. This is a powerful theme for morning motivation. Wake up. The world is a battlefield of noise. Every day, you're bombarded. Demands for your attention, opinions designed to sway you, dramas meant to ensnare you, and an endless barrage of trivialities trying to steal your most precious resources, your time, your focus, and your energy. Most people wander through this barrage unarmed, getting buffeted, drained, and ultimately defeated by the sheer volume of it all. But not you, not anymore, because you are learning to wield one of the most potent yet underestimated weapons in the human arsenal. The power of silence. Make no mistake, the quietest people are often the most powerful. Not because they are empty, not because they have nothing to contribute, and certainly not because they are weak. They are powerful precisely because they are quiet. They're not silent because they have nothing to say. They're silent because they're watching, because they're analyzing, because they understand that words can be a distraction, but silence is a weapon. This chapter isn't about aggression, it's about strategic defense and the potent offense of self-preservation. Silence is a weapon against unnecessary noise, arguments, and wasted explanations. This is the morning motivation. You need to navigate your day with power and purpose. Here's how you arm yourself with silence, the shield of non-engagement. How much energy do you waste on pointless arguments, on trying to convince people who are determined to misunderstand? You, on defending yourself against baseless accusations. Silence is your shield. It stops you from reacting impulsively. It keeps you from saying things you'll later regret. It helps you avoid battles that aren't worth your energy. By choosing not to engage, by meeting noise with quiet, you disarm. The provocateur. They expect a fight, you give them nothing to push against. Their energy dissipates. Yours is conserved, the filter for toxicity. The world is full of negativity, complainers, doubters, energy vampires. Engaging with them, even to refute them, often just pulls you down to their level. Silence acts as a powerful filter. When you embrace silence, you begin to intuitively filter out those who crave your attention but lack your best interests at heart. You stop engaging in conversations that drain you. You no longer feel the urge to respond to every insult, every doubt, or every challenge thrown your way. You protect your peace, the conserver of precious energy. Every word spoken, especially in contention or explanation, costs energy. Think about the sheer exhaustion after a prolonged, fruitless argument. Silence is an act of profound energy conservation. When you stop explaining yourself to people who never cared to understand you in the first place, you reclaim vast reserves of mental and emotional energy. This conserved energy can then be channeled into your goals, your growth, your well-being. This is a crucial benefit of silence, the magnifier of your true intentions when you do speak. When you are known for your thoughtful silence, for not wasting words. The times you do choose to speak carry immense weight, as we discussed. Your silence becomes the backdrop that makes your carefully chosen words resonate with even greater power. You are not just another voice in the cacophony. You are a considered opinion, a strategic input, the unmasker of futility. How many explanations are utterly wasted on people who have already decided what they want to believe? How many apologies did you never need to give because you weren't wrong in the first place? Silence, in these instances, is a weapon against futility. It stops you from pouring your valuable words into deaf ears. It allows you to see the pointlessness of certain engagements and withdraw your energy accordingly. This is why silence is important for self-respect. This isn't about being rude or dismissive. It's about being discerning. It's about valuing your peace, your energy, and your focus more than you value winning a pointless debate or seeking the approval of those who don't matter. True strength doesn't argue. It simply exists, unshaken, undeniable. It doesn't need to engage with every piece of noise. As you step into your day, remember this. You have a powerful weapon at your disposal. When the noise comes, and it will, remember your training from this Power of Silence book. Pause, breathe, assess. Is this worth my energy? Is this a battle I need to fight? Will my words make a genuine difference, or will they be lost in the wind? More often than not, you'll find that strategic silence is the most powerful response. It allows you to move with purpose, with precision, and with a clear mind, unburdened by the unnecessary noise that ensnares so many. Use your silence wisely. It is your shield, your filter, and your path to conserving the energy you need to conquer what truly matters. That's real power. That's your weapon. Chapter 10, The Unshaken Core. Building resilience through silent strength. True strength doesn't argue. It simply exists, unshaken, undeniable. This chapter focuses on how embracing silence helps you filter out negativity and remain steadfast. A lesson often highlighted by figures like Denzel Washington. Life will test you. It will throw punches. It will send storms your way designed to rock you to your very foundations. You will face criticism, doubt, betrayal, and misunderstanding. These are not possibilities. These are inevitabilities. The question isn't if these challenges will come, but how you will meet them. Will you crumble? Will you be tossed about like a ship without an anchor? Or will you stand firm, rooted in an inner strength that the world cannot break? This chapter is about forging that unshaken core. It's about building a resilience so profound that it becomes a part of your very being. And the crucible for this forging, the quiet furnace where this strength is tempered, is the power of silence. We've heard it said perhaps by figures like Denzel Washington in his moments of powerful oratory, and it bears repeating because it's a fundamental truth. True strength doesn't argue. It simply exists, unshaken, undeniable. It doesn't need to posture or proclaim. It is, and a significant part of cultivating this intrinsic, unwavering strength comes from how embracing silence helps you filter out negativity and remain steadfast. Think of a mighty oak tree in a tempest. The winds howl, the rains lash, but the oak stands. Why? Because its roots run deep. Its core is solid. It doesn't argue with the storm. It endures. It is. Your inner silence is where you grow those roots. Here's how silent strength builds your unshaken core. Silence as a negativity deflector. The world is awash with negativity. The doubts of others, the cynicism, the constant critiques. If you engage with all of it, if you internalize it, it will erode your spirit. Silence acts as a deflector. When faced with negativity, a moment of quiet, centered silence prevents you from immediately absorbing it. It gives you the space to recognize it for what it is, often a reflection of the other person's fears or insecurities, not a truth about you. You learn not to take the bait, not to let their poison become yours. Cultivating an inner sanctuary. Your mind can be your greatest ally or your worst enemy. When you practice silence, you create an inner sanctuary, a quiet space within yourself where you can retreat, reflect, and recharge, regardless of the chaos outside. This inner refuge is where you remind yourself of your worth, your purpose, your strength. It's your untouchable core, protected from the external noise. This is a profound benefit of silence, steadfastness. Through emotional regulation, emotional reactivity is a sign of a fragile core. When you're easily provoked, easily angered, easily discouraged, you give others power over you. Silence, as we've explored, is a master teacher of emotional regulation. It teaches you to observe your emotions without being consumed by them. This ability to remain calm and centered, even when your emotions are stirred, is the hallmark of resilience. You are no longer a slave to your feelings. You are their master. This is crucial for a mindset for self-control, filtering out the non-essential to focus on truth. Life throws a lot of information and distraction at you. Much of it is irrelevant to your true path and purpose. Silence helps you filter. It sharpens your discernment, allowing you to sift through the noise and focus on what truly matters, on the truths that align with your core values. This unwavering focus on your internal compass, despite external pressures, is what keeps you steadfast. This is why silence is important for maintaining direction. Learning from setbacks, in quiet reflection. Resilience isn't about avoiding falls. It's about how you get back up. After a setback, the urge might be to lash out, to blame, or to wallow in despair. All noisy reactions. The path of silent strength, however, encourages quiet reflection. What was the lesson? What can be done differently? Silence provides the clarity to learn and grow from adversity rather than be defeated by it. This turns failures into stepping stones. This is powerful motivation. The world respects strength, but it often misunderstands its source. It looks for the loud, the aggressive, the dominant. But enduring strength, the kind that truly lasts, is often quiet, internal, and built on a foundation of self-awareness and self-control that is nurtured in silence. Some of life's greatest victories come not from speaking, but from knowing when to stay quiet, from letting your actions, your discipline, and your results speak for you, from keeping your emotions guarded, from refusing to react when others expect you to, because the moment someone learns how to provoke you, they gain control over you. But when you remain silent, when you refuse to let them dictate your response, when you operate from that unshaken core, that's when you become truly unstoppable. It's not easy to be silent in a world that equates being loud with being important. But real significance, real power, the kind that builds an unshaken core, has nothing to do with how much noise you make. It's in the weight of your presence, the impact of your actions, and the discipline of knowing when to hold back. Embrace the silence. Let it be the space where you filter out the world's negativity. Let it be the anvil upon which your resilience is forged. Build that unshaken core, and you will find that no storm can truly break you. You will simply exist, strong, steadfast, undeniable. This is the promise and the power of silence. Part 2. Mastering your inner and outer world. Chapter 11. The end of desperation. Attracting, not chasing. Desperation repels what you desire. The more you chase, the more it resists. When you stop chasing and focus on yourself, embodying patience and confidence, everything starts gravitating toward you. This is crucial for personal growth. You've spent the first part of this journey, this Power of Silence book, learning to cultivate an inner fortress of quiet strength. You've begun to understand the profound benefits of silence, how it sharpens your perception, clarifies your mind, and builds an unshaken core. Now we take that inner mastery and begin to apply it to your outer world, to how you interact with life, with opportunities, and with people. And one of the most transformative shifts you can make, a shift born directly from that inner stillness and self-possession, is moving from a state of chasing to a state of attracting. Listen to me. Desperation repels what you desire. Read that again. Burn it into your mind. The more you chase something, the more it resists you. This isn't just some mystical woo-woo. It's a fundamental law of energy and human psychology. It applies not only to people, in relationships, in seeking respect, but to everything: success, opportunities, even peace of mind. The moment you start running after them, frantically trying to grasp them, you give off an energy of lack, of neediness, and nothing valuable, nothing truly worthwhile responds well to desperation. It's like trying to catch a butterfly with your fists clenched. The more you lunge, the further it flits away. But what happens when you stand still? What happens when you stop grasping, when your energy is calm, centered, and self-contained? The butterfly, feeling no threat, no desperate pursuit, might just land gently on your shoulder. Life works the same way. When you stop chasing and focus on yourself, embodying the patience and confidence that silent strength has taught you, everything starts gravitating toward you. This isn't magic, it's alignment, and it is absolutely crucial for personal growth. Consider the dynamics. Chasing diminishes your value. When you chase someone or something, you inherently place it on a pedestal and diminish your own perceived value. Your actions scream, "You are more important than I am," or "I need this to be whole." People, and even opportunities, are naturally drawn to what feels rare, what feels valuable, what possesses an inherent sense of self-worth. By chasing, you make yourself common, easily obtainable, and less desirable. Desperation signals lack, not abundance. The energy of chasing is rooted in fear, fear of loss, fear of missing out, fear of not being enough. This projects an aura of scarcity, but the universe and the people in it respond to abundance. When you operate from a place of quiet confidence, from the inner knowing that you are already whole and resourceful, a knowing cultivated in silence, you radiate an energy of abundance, and like attracts like. Focus on self, not on the elusive other. The antidote to chasing is to turn your focus inward. Instead of pouring your energy into pursuing what's outside of you, invest that energy in becoming the best version of yourself. Cultivate your talents, strengthen your mind, as you've been learning through the power of silence. Build your character, find your joy. When you become a source of light, of value, of quiet strength, you don't need to chase. You naturally Attract patience and trust in the process. The need to chase often stems from impatience and a lack of trust in life's timing. You want it now, and you're afraid it won't come if you don't force it. But the silent strength you've been building teaches patience. It teaches you to trust the process, to do your work, and to allow things to unfold in their own time. When you embody this patience, you stop the frantic pursuit. The power of detachment. Chasing is born from attachment to a specific outcome. Silence and introspection help you cultivate a healthy detachment. This doesn't mean you don't have goals or desires. It means your sense of self-worth and happiness isn't solely dependent on achieving them. When you can want something without needing it desperately, you shift the energetic dynamic. You are no longer a beggar, but a sovereign individual open to receiving. This isn't about playing mind games or feigning indifference. This is about a genuine internal shift, a fundamental reorientation of your energy. Stop initiating every call, every conversation out of fear of losing connection. Stop over-explaining your worth, hoping to convince someone to value you. Stop begging for opportunities. Instead, prepare yourself so diligently and embody such competence that opportunities seek you. When you make this shift, when you stop chasing, people start noticing your absence, your self-contained energy. They begin to wonder, and often what was running away from you starts to turn and move towards you. Not because you manipulated them, but because you finally understood your own value enough to stop running after what was never running towards you in the first place. The irony of life is that the more you try to control things through desperate pursuit, the more chaotic they become. But when you step back, when you let go of the chase, when you focus on building your inner world through practices like silence and project that quiet confidence outward, everything starts to align. The right people, the right timing, the right opportunities, they come, often effortlessly. Real power isn't in the frantic chase. It's in the quiet confidence of knowing you are already enough, and that what is meant for you will find its way to you when you are truly ready to receive it. This is the end of desperation. This is the beginning of attraction. And it's a direct result of the inner work you've committed to in the power of silence. Chapter 12. The Shield of Privacy. Protecting your dreams and plans. There is strength in silence, power in keeping your dreams, plans, and next moves to yourself. Not everyone deserves to know. Silence protects your energy and vision from doubt. And sabotage. You have dreams, don't you? Big, audacious visions for your life, your work, your future. You have plans, carefully laid or perhaps just beginning to form, for how you're going to bring those dreams into reality. This is good. This is the fire of ambition, the spark of creation. But just as a tender seedling needs protection from harsh winds and trampling feet, your nascent dreams and plans need a shield, and often the most powerful shield you can provide is the power of silence. Understand this critical truth. There is strength in silence, power in keeping your dreams, plans, and next moves to yourself. In a world that overshares, that broadcasts every fleeting thought and half-baked idea, the discipline of privacy, of strategic quiet, is a rare and potent advantage. Not everyone deserves to know what you're working on or where you're headed. This isn't about being secretive out of paranoia. It's about being discerning out of wisdom. It's about understanding that silence protects your energy and vision from doubt and sabotage. Consider why this shield is so crucial. Guarding against premature doubt. When a dream is new, it's fragile. It's full of potential, but also vulnerable. Share it too soon, with the wrong people, and you invite a flood of unsolicited opinions, criticisms, and well-meaning advice that can plant seeds of doubt in your own mind. Are you sure that's a good idea? That sounds really difficult. What if you fail? Their fears, their limitations, their lack of vision can become yours if you're not careful. Silence allows your dream to take root. to grow stronger within you before it faces the scrutiny of the world, protecting your creative energy. Bringing a vision to life requires immense creative energy, focus, and momentum. Every time you talk about your plans excessively, especially in the early stages, you dissipate some of that precious energy. It's like letting steam out of an engine. Keep that energy contained, focused on the doing rather than the telling. Silence helps you incubate your ideas, nurturing them with your focused attention until they are robust enough to be shared more widely. This is a vital benefit of silence for any creator or innovator. Avoiding unintentional and intentional sabotage. Not everyone wants to see you win. Let that sink in. Your growth, your ambition, can remind others of everything they haven't done, of the chances they didn't take. Some people, consciously or unconsciously, may try to discourage you, to downplay your abilities, or to subtly steer you, of course. Others might even try to co-opt your ideas or block your path if they see you as a threat. Silence about your specific plans keeps you off their radar, allowing you to move unimpeded. Why silence is important here is about strategic maneuvering, maintaining flexibility, and avoiding public commitment pressure. When you announce your plans to the world, you create an external pressure to follow through in a specific way, even if circumstances change or a better path reveals itself. Keeping your plans private or shared only with a trusted few allows you the flexibility to adapt, to pivot, to refine your strategy without the burden of public expectation or the fear of perceived failure if you change course. Silence grants you the freedom to evolve, letting your results do the talking. There's a profound satisfaction in working diligently, in silence, and then letting the finished product, the achieved goal, speak for itself. Too many people talk about what they're going to do, the truly powerful focus on doing it. When you unveil your accomplishment born from quiet labor, it has an impact that no amount of prior talk could have achieved. Your results become undeniable. This is a key aspect of the power of silence motivation. This doesn't mean you should become a recluse or never seek counsel. There is immense value in sharing your ideas with trusted mentors, advisors, or a very small circle of supportive individuals who genuinely have your best interests at heart and can offer constructive feedback. The key is discernment. Most people in your life are acquaintances, not confidants. Most conversations are casual, not strategic counsel. Protect your dreams, as a lioness protects her cubs. Be selective about who you share your vision with. Focus more on the work than on talking about the work. Understand that not every thought needs to be voiced. Not every plan needs an audience. The greatest ideas, the most transformative businesses, the most significant achievements often start in silence. They are built in the quiet hours, away from the noise and the premature opinions. Your dreams deserve that same sacred, protected space. Let them wonder what you're up to. Let them underestimate you while you build. The shield of privacy, forged in the power of silence, is not about hiding. It's about intelligent protection, strategic incubation, and ultimately powerful revelation when the time is right. Guard your vision, work in quiet, and then let your success make the noise. Chapter 13. The Power of Patience. Trusting the unfolding of time. Patience is one of the greatest strengths. Great things take time. This chapter, vital for a financial freedom mindset, emphasizes trusting the process and avoiding desperate decisions, born from impatience. In a world obsessed with speed, with instant results, overnight success, and the next quick fix, there is a virtue, a strength that has become tragically undervalued, almost forgotten. Yet it is a cornerstone of all lasting achievement, a non-negotiable ingredient for building anything of true worth. That virtue, that power, is patience, and patience is one of the greatest strengths a person can possess. It is the quiet companion to the power of silence, for it is in the stillness, in the ability to wait without agitation, that patience finds its truest expression. So many dreams die not from a lack of talent or effort, but from a lack of patience. People plant seeds and then dig them up a week later because they don't see immediate sprouts. They start a journey but abandon it halfway because the destination seems too distant. They make incredible progress, then sabotage it all with a desperate, impulsive move born from the inability to simply wait. Understand this. Great things take time. This is not a cliché. It is a fundamental law of the universe. A mighty forest does not spring up overnight. A masterpiece is not painted in an afternoon. A strong character is not forged in a single day. And certainly, a financial freedom mindset, leading to actual financial freedom, is not achieved through a lottery ticket or a get-rich-quick scheme. It is built brick by painstaking brick through disciplined effort and unwavering patience over time. This chapter emphasizes the critical importance of trusting the process and avoiding desperate decisions born from impatience. Impatience is the enemy of progress. It leads to reckless decisions. When you lack patience, you become susceptible to shortcuts, to gambles, to opportunities that promise instant rewards but often lead to significant losses. In finance, this can mean chasing speculative investments or falling for scams. In life, it can mean rushing into relationships or career moves that aren't right, simply because you can't bear the discomfort of waiting for what truly aligns. Settling for less. Impatience whispers that what you want is taking too long, that perhaps it's not meant to be. It coaxes you into settling for less than you deserve, for the good enough instead of the truly great, just to alleviate the anxiety of the wait. Patience, however, allows you to hold out for your true vision, to stay the course even when it's challenging. Quitting too soon. The path to any significant achievement is rarely a straight line. There will be plateaus, setbacks, moments when it feels like you're making no progress at all. This is where impatience often triumphs, leading people to abandon their efforts just before a breakthrough. Patience is the endurance to keep going, to trust that your consistent efforts are compounding even when the results aren't yet visible. Increased stress and anxiety. Constantly feeling like you're behind, like things aren't happening fast enough, creates a state of chronic stress and anxiety. This not only harms your well-being, but also clouds your judgment, making it harder to think clearly and make good decisions. Patience, cultivated through practices like silence and mindfulness, brings a sense of calm and acceptance, allowing you to navigate the journey with greater peace. The benefits of silence are deeply intertwined with the cultivation of patience. When you can sit in silence without needing immediate stimulation or distraction, you are training your mind to be patient. When you listen quietly without the urge to interrupt, you are practicing patience. When you observe without rushing to judgment, you are embodying patience. Consider the farmer. She plants her seeds, tends the soil, and then she waits. She trusts the natural process of growth. She doesn't dig up the seeds every day to check on them. She understands that some things cannot be rushed. This is the mindset we must cultivate, especially when it comes to building wealth or achieving any significant long-term goal. This is why silence is important. It teaches us this natural rhythm of effort and allowing. Trusting the process means doing your part diligently. Show up. Put in the work. Make the consistent effort. Letting go of the when and how. Focus on your actions, not on obsessively controlling the timeline or the exact manner of the outcome. Understanding that delays are not denials. Sometimes things take longer than expected. This doesn't mean they won't happen. It might mean you're being prepared for something bigger, or that unseen factors are aligning. embracing the journey, not just the destination, the growth, the learning, the person you become along the way, is just as valuable, if not more so, than the final achievement. Desperate decisions, born from impatience, almost always lead to regret. They are reactive, fear-based, and short-sighted. Patient decisions, however, are considered, rooted in a long-term vision, and aligned with your core values. As you continue to master the power of silence, let it nurture within you an unshakable patience. When the urge to rush, to force, to make a desperate move arises, retreat into that inner quiet. Remind yourself that great things take time. Trust that your consistent, disciplined efforts are building something magnificent, even if you can't see the full picture yet. The strongest structures, the most enduring legacies, the most profound transformations, they are all monuments to the power of patience. Embrace it. It is one of your greatest allies on the path to mastering your inner and outer world. This is not just a chapter in a Power of Silence book, it is a lifelong practice for profound success and peace. Chapter 14. The Truth Unveiled. How silence exposes true intentions. When you stop explaining yourself, people begin to show you exactly who they are. Silence is a mirror, forcing people to reflect on their own actions. This is a powerful tool to manage your emotions audiobook style. We live in a world of explanations. We explain our actions, our motives, our choices. We justify, we defend, we elaborate, often to people who aren't truly listening, or worse, who are waiting to twist our words. We believe that by talking more, we will be understood more. But what if the opposite were true? What if the path to true understanding, not just of ourselves, but of others, lies not in more words, but in strategic, observant silence? This chapter uncovers a profound dynamic. When you stop explaining yourself, people begin to show you exactly who they are. Your silence becomes a catalyst, a disarming force that strips away the pretense and compels others to reveal their authentic selves, their true intentions. Think about it. When you're constantly talking, explaining, justifying, you're controlling the narrative. You're filling the space. You're, in a sense, doing the work for them. But when you withdraw that verbal energy, when you simply hold your space in quiet observation, a vacuum is created. And how people choose to fill that vacuum or react to it is incredibly telling. Silence is a mirror, forcing people to reflect on their own actions, their own contributions, or lack thereof, to the dynamic. It's a powerful, almost unsettling experience for those accustomed to you doing all the verbal heavy lifting. This isn't just a social observation. This is a powerful tool, something akin to what you'd learn in a course to manage your emotions audiobook style, because it allows you to see reality without the distortion of your own reactive words. Here's how your silence unveils the truth. It exposes who truly cares to understand. When you stop explaining, you quickly see who was genuinely interested in understanding you versus who was just waiting for a pause to interject their own agenda, or who was content with their preconceived notions. Those who truly care will make an effort to bridge the gap your silence creates. They might ask clarifying questions respectfully, or simply sit with you in understanding. Those who don't, won't. Their disinterest becomes palpable. It reveals underlying discomfort and guilt. For some, your unexplained silence can be deeply unsettling, especially if they have acted in a way that is questionable or unkind. Your quietude can make them confront their own behavior. They might become defensive, agitated, or even try to provoke you into speaking, precisely because your silence is holding up a mirror to their actions. Their discomfort is a sign. It tests the authenticity of support. People are quick to offer verbal support, but when you stop performing, stop seeking their constant validation, and simply are, who still shows up? Who still offers genuine encouragement or presence without needing your constant engagement? Your silence filters out the performative supporters from the genuinely steadfast ones. This is a key benefit of silence. It unmasks manipulative tendencies. Some individuals thrive on controlling the narrative or eliciting specific reactions from you. They might rely on your tendency to over-explain, to find weaknesses, or to steer you. When you meet their attempts at manipulation with calm, unwavering silence, you disarm them. They have nothing to work with, no emotional reaction to feed off. Their frustration, their attempts to goad you into speaking, reveal their manipulative intent. This is why silence is important for self-protection. It shows you who respects your boundaries without needing a speech. True respect doesn't always require a lengthy dissertation on your boundaries. Sometimes simply withdrawing your energy, your explanations, your constant availability is enough. Those who respect you will respect your need for space or quiet. Those who feel entitled to your time and energy will protest, will push, will try to make you feel guilty. Their reaction to your unspoken boundary is the truth. This practice isn't about being passive-aggressive or giving people the silent treatment to punish them. That's a manipulation tactic in itself. This is about a conscious, strategic withdrawal of your verbal energy to allow for greater observation and clarity. It's about letting the truth emerge organically, rather than trying to force it through. Endless discussion. The power of silence in this context is a powerful diagnostic tool. Stop chasing an apology. Your silence might elicit a genuine one, or reveal they feel no remorse. Stop begging for understanding. Your silence will show you who is capable of it. Stop explaining your worth. Your silence will demonstrate who already sees it. The truth might be uncomfortable. It might reveal that people you trusted weren't who you thought they were, but this truth, however painful, is liberating. It allows you to make informed decisions about your relationships and how you invest your energy. As you integrate this into your life, remember, your silence is not emptiness. It's a space of potent observation. It is a mirror reflecting the true intentions of those around you. It is a quiet unveiling. Trust what it shows you. This understanding is a vital step in mastering your inner and outer world, a lesson central to the Power of Silence book. Chapter 15. Breaking Free from Validation. The strength of self-approval validation is a drug. Real power doesn't beg to be noticed or seek applause. When you truly know your worth, you move differently. This chapter is about achieving an emotional regulation audiobook level of self-mastery. We live in a world that thrives on external affirmation, likes, shares, comments, applause, promotions, compliments. These have become the currency of self-worth for so many. We post, we perform, we strive, often with one underlying unspoken question: am I good enough? Do you approve? Do you see me? But I'm here to tell you, this constant seeking of external validation is a trap. It's a drug, a silent addiction that keeps you tethered to the opinions of others, a prisoner in a cage of your own making. It starts small, the desire to be accepted, the need to be acknowledged. But before you know it, you're living your life based on the fluctuating approval of a fickle audience. And in doing so, you slowly, surely lose yourself. This chapter is your declaration of independence. It's about smashing those chains. It's about understanding that real power doesn't beg to be noticed or seek applause. Real power, the kind that emanates from an unshakable core, is self-sourced. It comes from within. It comes from breaking free from the addiction to validation and embracing the profound strength of self-approval. This is about achieving an emotional regulation audiobook level of self-mastery, where your inner state is no longer dictated by external feedback. When you truly know your worth, you move differently. You operate from a different frequency. The frantic energy of seeking approval is replaced by a calm, centered confidence. Consider the insidious nature of validation seeking. It gives others power over you. As long as you need someone else's yes to feel good about yourself or your choices, you are handing them the remote control to your emotions and your self-esteem. They can lift you up with a compliment or crush you with criticism. You become a puppet, dancing to their tune. It stifles authenticity. When your primary goal is to gain approval, you start to tailor your words, your actions, even your beliefs, to what you think others want to see or hear. You become a chameleon, losing touch with your true self, your unique voice, your authentic desires. It breeds insecurity. The high from external validation is fleeting. As soon as the applause dies down, as soon as the likes stop coming, the insecurity creeps back in, demanding another hit. It's an endless, exhausting cycle that never leads to genuine, lasting self-worth. It limits your potential. Fear of disapproval can paralyze you. It can stop you from taking risks, from pursuing unconventional paths, from speaking your truth if it goes against the grain. You play small to avoid rocking the boat, and in doing so, you never discover the full extent of your capabilities. The power of silence plays a crucial role in this liberation. How? Silence quiets the external noise. By consciously withdrawing from the constant chatter and the relentless pursuit of external feedback, you create space to hear your own voice, your own inner wisdom. Silence helps you disconnect from the opinions of the crowd and connect with your internal compass. Silence fosters self-reflection. In the quiet, you can honestly assess yourself, your strengths, your weaknesses, your values, your accomplishments. This isn't about harsh self-criticism, but about objective self-awareness. This self-knowledge is the foundation of genuine self-approval. Silence builds inner resilience. When you can sit comfortably in silence, content with your own company, you are cultivating an inner resilience that doesn't depend on external props. You learn that your worth is inherent, not granted by others. This is a profound benefit of silence. Breaking free from the need for validation is not about becoming arrogant or dismissing all feedback. Constructive criticism from trusted sources can be valuable for growth. The difference is in the need. You can appreciate recognition without needing it to feel worthy. You can consider feedback without letting it define you. This is about shifting your locus of control inward. Define your own success. Stop measuring your worth by external benchmarks or the achievements of others. Define what success and fulfillment mean to you based on your own values and aspirations. Become your own harshest critic and greatest cheerleader. Hold yourself to high standards, yes, but also learn to acknowledge your efforts, celebrate your victories, no matter how small, and offer yourself the same compassion and encouragement you would offer a friend. Trust your inner knowing. You have an internal guidance system, an intuition. Learn to listen to it, to trust it, even if it goes against popular opinion. This is why silence is important. It allows you to hear that inner voice. Focus on the process, not just the applause. Find joy and satisfaction in the work itself, in the act of creating, learning, and growing, rather than solely in the external recognition it might or might not bring. When you no longer need the world to tell you you're okay, you become truly free. Your actions are no longer dictated by a desire to impress, but by a commitment to your own truth. Your energy is no longer spent chasing approval, but invested in purposeful creation. You stop explaining yourself. You stop seeking permission. You stop shrinking to fit. You stand tall in your own authentic power. This is the strength of self-approval. It is an unshakable foundation, built in the quiet sanctuary of your own mind, nurtured by the power of silence. And it is one of the most liberating achievements on the path to mastering your inner and outer world. This isn't just a chapter in the Power of Silence book. It's a lifelong commitment to your own sovereignty. Chapter 16, The Eloquence of Absence, Letting Go to Gain Perspective. Absence is a powerful teacher. It forces people to realize what they had and took for granted. Sometimes, the only way to show someone your value is to let them feel your absence. This is a profound aspect of the power of silence. We've spoken extensively about the power of your presence when steeped in silence, about the weight of your carefully chosen words, and the strength of your self-approval. But sometimes, the most profound statements are made not by what you do or say, but by what you cease to do, by your deliberate, strategic withdrawal. This chapter delves into a difficult, yet often necessary truth: the eloquence of absence. Absence is a powerful teacher. It's a stark, undeniable force that often achieves what words, explanations, and even your most patient presence cannot. It forces people to realize what they had, what they took for granted, and what they never truly appreciated. It creates a void, and in that void, truths that were previously obscured by your constant availability come sharply into focus. This isn't about petty games of making someone miss you. This is about a deeper understanding of human nature and the dynamics of value. Sometimes, the only way to show someone your true value, to themselves, to a situation, to a relationship, is to let them feel your absence. This is a profound and often painful aspect of the power of silence. Consider the impact of your constant presence. Availability can breed complacency. When you are always there, always giving, always accommodating, people can, often unconsciously, begin to see your kindness, your effort, your very presence as a given, an entitlement rather than a gift. They become blind to the effort it takes, the value you bring. Your worth becomes invisible. Like the air we breathe, what is consistently present can become invisible, unappreciated until it's gone. Your contributions, your support, your emotional labor can be overlooked simply because they are constants. Strategic absence, then, is not an act of malice, but an act of clarity, a recalibration, creating space for realization. When you remove yourself, you remove the buffer. You remove the comfort of your presence. People are then forced to confront the reality of the void you once filled. The phone calls that no longer come, the support that is no longer there, the warmth that is now missing. These absences speak volumes. It's in this empty space that they might finally begin to understand, not through your words, but through their own experience of your lack. Testing true value and priority. Your absence is a litmus test. If someone truly values you, your absence will be felt keenly. They will reflect. They might recognize their oversight or their part in the dynamic. They might take action to understand, to reconnect, to appreciate. But if your absence goes unnoticed or is met with indifference, that too is a powerful message. It tells you where you truly stand, or rather, where you didn't stand in their priorities. This clarity, though sometimes harsh, is a benefit of silence and absence, allowing natural consequences to teach. You cannot force someone to appreciate you. You cannot argue them into valuing your contributions. Sometimes, the most effective teacher is the natural consequence of their own actions or inactions. Your absence allows those consequences to unfold without your intervention, forcing them to manage without what they once took for granted. Gaining perspective for yourself. This isn't just about what they learn. Your deliberate absence also gives you crucial perspective. Stepping away from a situation, a relationship, or a dynamic allows you to see it more clearly, free from the emotional entanglement of being immersed in it. You can assess its health, its true value to you, and whether it's worth returning to, and on what terms. Silence and distance are powerful clarifiers, the necessary pain of letting go. Sometimes absence isn't temporary. Sometimes it's the precursor to letting go entirely. If repeated attempts at communication, at setting boundaries, at being valued have failed, then a more permanent absence might be the only path to preserving your own well-being and self-respect. This is a courageous act, often born from the deep self-awareness cultivated through the power of silence. This is why silence is important in these contexts. It's the precursor to and the companion of strategic absence. It's the inner work that gives you the strength and clarity to step back. This path is not easy. It requires courage to withdraw, to resist the urge to rush back in and fix things, to explain yourself one more time. It requires trusting that the silence of your absence will communicate more effectively than your words ever could. But the lessons learned in the void of absence are often the ones that stick the deepest, both for those who experience your absence and for you, as you observe from a place of newfound perspective. It's a powerful, eloquent teacher, often revealing truths that proximity and constant engagement had kept hidden. This is a challenging but essential facet of wielding the power of silence for true understanding and personal growth. Chapter 17. The Unseen Growth. Trusting the timing of your life. Nature doesn't rush, yet everything gets done. Trusting the timing of your life means letting go of control and surrendering to the natural flow. This aligns with Christian motivation, principles of faith and trust. We've talked about patience, about the strength in waiting. Now we delve deeper into the very fabric of that patience, a profound trust in the timing of your life, a surrender to a rhythm larger than your own. Impatient desires. This is where the principles of the power of silence intersect with a faith that transcends the immediate, the visible, the controllable. Look around you. Nature doesn't rush, yet everything gets done. The sun rises and sets with unwavering precision, not a second too early, not a moment too late. Seasons change in their appointed order. A seed doesn't burst into a mighty tree overnight. It follows an innate, unhurried schedule of growth, much of it unseen beneath the soil. Rivers carve canyons, over eons, not in a single flood. There is an inherent wisdom, a divine orchestration to the natural world, and you, my friend, are part of that same grand design. Your life, too, has its seasons, its rhythms, its perfect unfolding timing. Trusting the timing of your life means letting go of the desperate need to control and surrendering to the natural flow. It means understanding that not everything will happen on your preferred schedule, and that this is not a sign of failure, but often a sign of a deeper wisdom at play. This is a concept that deeply aligns with Christian motivation principles of faith and trust, the belief in a loving, sovereign God who has a plan for your life, a plan that unfolds in His perfect time, not necessarily yours. It's about releasing your white-knuckled grip on the steering wheel and allowing a higher power, or the inherent intelligence of life itself, to guide you. Why is this trust so vital, and how does silence cultivate it? Relief from the burden of forced outcomes, constantly trying to force things, to manipulate timelines, to make things happen before their time, is exhausting. It creates immense stress and anxiety. Trusting life's timing, surrendering to its flow, lifts this burden. It allows you to do your part with diligence and then release the outcome, knowing that what is meant for you will not pass you by if you are aligned and prepared. Silence is the space where you practice this release, where you quiet the anxious mind that demands immediate results, recognizing the preparation in delays. Sometimes what feels like a frustrating delay is actually a period of necessary preparation. Perhaps you are not yet ready for what you desire. Perhaps there are lessons to be learned, skills to be honed, character to be developed before that door can open. These periods of waiting are often periods of unseen growth, like the roots of a tree strengthening beneath the earth before it can bear fruit. The power of silence allows you to be present in these in-between times, to glean the wisdom from them rather than just impatiently wishing them away. Alignment with divine or universal will. Whether you call it God's plan, the universe's design, or life's inherent intelligence, there is often a grander scheme at play than our limited human perspective can perceive. Trying to force your will against this larger flow is like trying to swim upstream, difficult and ultimately futile. Silence helps you become more attuned to this subtle guidance, to sense when you are in alignment and when you are pushing against a closed door. It fosters a humility that allows you to say, "Not my will, but thine be done," or simply, "I trust the unfolding." Patience, born from faith, not just endurance. While patience can be an act of sheer willpower, patience born from trust is a different quality altogether. It's not just gritting your teeth and enduring, it's a peaceful waiting, a confident expectation that good things are coming, even if you don't see them yet. This kind of patience is a benefit of silence, because it's in the quiet that faith is often nurtured, that you connect with a sense of peace that surpasses understanding. Avoiding premature births of ideas and projects. Just as a fruit picked too early is sour, a dream or project forced into existence before its time may falter or fail. Trusting the timing allows your ideas to mature, your plans to solidify, and the necessary resources and connections to align naturally. Why silence is important here is that it's the incubation period, the fertile darkness where things prepare for their right and perfect emergence. This isn't an excuse for passivity or inaction. You still have to plant the seeds, you still have to tend the soil, you still have to show up and do the work. But then you must learn the art of letting go, of trusting that the growth will happen, the harvest will come in its own perfect season. Many of the anxieties that rob us of peace stem from a lack of trust in this timing. We compare our chapter 3 to someone else's chapter 20 and feel inadequate. We see others achieving what we desire and wonder why it's not happening. For us, right now, retreat into your silence. Still the impatient voice. Remind yourself of nature's unhurried yet perfect rhythm. Cultivate a deep, abiding faith that your life is unfolding as it should, that you are exactly where you need to be, and that what is meant for you is already on its way, arriving not a moment too soon, nor a moment too late. This trust is a profound source of peace and strength. It allows you to move through life with grace, to embrace the journey with all its twists and turns, knowing that you are held, guided, and that everything is working together for your ultimate good in its own divine time. This is a cornerstone of the Power of Silence book, finding strength not just in your own efforts, but in surrendering to a wisdom greater than your own. Chapter 18, Architect of Your Words, Learning to Speak with Purpose. This chapter focuses on the Control Your Words audiobook theme. Your words shape your reality. Learn to speak with purpose, clarity, and intention, understanding their impact before they leave your mouth. Up to this point, much of our journey in the power of silence has focused on the profound strength found in not speaking, in listening, observing, and cultivating inner stillness. This was essential. You cannot build a strong house on a shaky foundation. But now, with that foundation of quiet awareness and self-control beginning to solidify, we turn to the art of construction itself, the architecture of your spoken words. Because while silence is golden, there are times when words are necessary, powerful, and world-changing. The key is to move from being a reckless purveyor of noise to a conscious architect of your communication. This chapter is dedicated to the Control Your Words audiobook theme, a vital skill in mastering your inner and outer world. Understand this. Your words shape your reality. They are not just fleeting sounds. They are potent forces that create, define, influence, and manifest. Learn to speak with purpose, clarity, and intention, understanding their impact before they leave your mouth. This is not about censorship or fear, but about responsibility and power. The average person spews words like a broken fire hydrant, uncontrolled, often wasteful, sometimes damaging. They react, they ramble, they regret, but you are learning a different way. The silence you've practiced has taught you to listen, to think, to weigh. Now, apply that discipline to your speech. Speak with purpose. Know your why. Before you open your mouth, ask yourself, why am I speaking? What is my objective? Is it to inform, to inspire, to persuade, to clarify, to connect, to resolve conflict, to offer comfort? Or is it to complain, to gossip, to boast, to wound, to fill? An awkward silence? Words spoken without a clear purpose are often aimless and ineffective. When you speak with purpose, every syllable is directed, every sentence has a job to do. Your silence before speaking is where you define this purpose. Speak with clarity. Precision over proliferation. Vague language leads to misunderstanding. Rambling obscures your point. Complexity alienates your audience. The architect of words strives for clarity. This means choosing your words carefully, structuring your thoughts logically, and expressing yourself in a way that is easily understood. Often, the simplest, most direct language is the most powerful. Cut the fluff. Get to the heart of the matter. Your practice of quiet contemplation helps you distill your thoughts into their clearest form. Speak with intention, the energy behind the words. Your intention is the emotional and energetic charge behind your words. You can say the right words with the wrong intention, and the message will be distorted, the connection broken. Are you speaking from a place of love, respect, and genuine care, or from fear, anger, or ego? People feel the intention, often, more than they hear the words themselves. Silence allows you to check in with your inner state, to align your intention with your desired impact before you speak. This is crucial to manage your emotions audiobook style, applied to your communication. Understand the impact. Words as seeds. Every word you speak is a seed planted in the mind of the listener and in your own. Those seeds will grow. They yield fruit of understanding, connection, and positivity, or weeds of confusion, conflict, and negativity. Before you speak, consider the potential impact. How will this be received? Could it be misinterpreted? Is it constructive? Taking this moment of consideration, a pause born from your comfort with silence, can prevent a world of regret. This is a fundamental benefit of silence, the power of I statements. Owning your truth. When expressing opinions or feelings, especially in sensitive situations, speak from your own experience using I statements. I feel, I believe, in my experience, rather than accusatory you statements. You always, you never. This owns your perspective without attacking the other person, fostering more open and less defensive communication. Timing is everything, knowing when to speak. Part of speaking with purpose is knowing the right time to speak. Sometimes the most powerful words are delayed. Sometimes a situation needs to breathe or emotions need to settle before your words can be truly heard and received. Your cultivated silence and observation skills will guide you in discerning the opportune moment This isn't about becoming a robot calculating every utterance. It's about cultivating a mindful approach to your speech. It's about valuing your words enough to use them wisely. The power of silence has taught you the strength of restraint. Now, let that restraint inform your expression. Think of your words as tools. A skilled architect doesn't just grab any tool and start swinging. They select the right tool for the specific task, using it with precision and care. You, as an architect of your words, must do the same. The ability to control your words is a hallmark of maturity, wisdom, and true power. It allows you to build bridges instead of burning them, to inspire action instead of inciting anger, to create clarity instead of confusion. Your words have the power to shape your relationships, your career, your reputation, and ultimately, your destiny. Wield them with the purpose, clarity, and intention they deserve. This is a cornerstone of the Power of Silence book, making every utterance count. Chapter 19. The Inner Kingdom. How to master your thoughts. Your thoughts create your world. This Master Your Thoughts audiobook chapter explores techniques like mindfulness, positive affirmations, and visualization to gain control over your mental landscape, crucial for positive thinking for success. You stand at the gates of a vast and powerful realm, a domain that dictates every aspect of your existence, yet one that most people wander through as if blindfolded, subject to its every whim. This realm is your mind, your inner kingdom, and the thoughts that populate this kingdom are the architects of your reality. Your thoughts create your world, not some of it, all of it, your joys, your sorrows, your successes, your failures. They all begin as a single solitary thought. To truly harness the power of silence and the principles we've discussed, you must become the sovereign of this inner kingdom. You must learn to master your thoughts. This isn't about suppressing them or waging war against your own mind. It's about understanding them, guiding them, and ultimately choosing them. This Master Your Thoughts audiobook chapter is your practical guide, exploring proven techniques like mindfulness, positive affirmations, and visualization to gain control over your mental landscape, crucial for positive thinking for success. The key: untrained mind is like a wild garden. Weeds of negativity, fear, and self-doubt grow rampant, choking out the flowers of potential and joy. But the mind, like any garden, can be cultivated. With discipline and the right tools, you can transform it into a place of power, peace, and boundless creativity. The Watchtower of Mindfulness. Observing without judgment. The first step to mastering your thoughts is becoming aware of them. Most people are so enmeshed in their thinking, they don't even realize what's constantly running through their heads. Mindfulness is the practice of stepping back and becoming an impartial observer of your thoughts. Technique: set aside a few minutes each day to simply sit in silence. Close your eyes, focus on your breath, and just notice the thoughts that arise. Don't engage with them, don't judge them, don't try to stop them. Just observe them as if they were clouds passing in the sky. This creates a crucial space between you, the observer, and your thoughts. This practice, a core benefit of silence, is foundational, the sword of discernment, challenging negative thoughts. Once you become aware of your thought patterns, you'll likely notice recurring negative or limiting beliefs. I'm not good enough. I'll never succeed. Bad things always happen to me. These are the weeds. You must learn to challenge them. Technique: when a negative thought arises, ask yourself, is this thought absolutely true? What evidence do I have for it? What evidence do I have against it? What would I tell a friend who had this thought? Often, you'll find these negative thoughts are irrational, based on past conditioning or fear, not on present reality. Actively dispute them. The seeds of power. Positive affirmations. You can't just weed the garden. You must plant what you want to grow. Positive affirmations are powerful statements that, when repeated regularly and with conviction, help to reprogram your subconscious mind, replacing old, negative programming with new, empowering beliefs. Technique. Craft affirmations that are positive, personal and in the present tense, e.g., I am capable and confident, I attract success and abundance, I am worthy of love and happiness. Repeat them daily, especially in the morning or before sleep. Feel the truth of them as you say them. This actively cultivates positive thinking for success. The blueprint of creation, visualization. Your mind often doesn't distinguish between a vividly imagined experience and a real one. Visualization is the technique of creating detailed mental images of your desired outcomes as if they have already happened. This primes your brain for success and attracts the resources and opportunities needed to make it a reality. Technique. Regularly spend time in a quiet space, visualizing your goals. See yourself achieving them. Feel the emotions of that success. Engage all your senses. The more vivid and consistent your visualization, the more powerful its effect. This is a direct application of using your thoughts to shape your reality. Controlling your inputs, guarding the gates of your mind. What you feed your mind matters. Constant exposure to negativity through news, social media, or pessimistic people will inevitably color your thoughts. Be discerning about your inputs. Technique. Limit exposure to negative media. Unfollow accounts that drain your energy. Spend more time with positive, uplifting people. Read books and listen to audiobooks, like this one on the power of silence, that inspire and empower you. You are the gatekeeper of your mind. The power of gratitude. Shifting your focus. Gratitude is a powerful antidote to negative thinking. When you consciously focus on what you're grateful for, it's difficult for negativity to take hold. Technique. Start or end your day by listing 3 to 5 things you are grateful for. This simple practice shifts your mental state from lack to abundance, fostering a more positive outlook. Mastering your thoughts is not a one-time event. It's an ongoing practice, a daily discipline. There will be days when the weeds seem to grow faster than the flowers. That's okay. The key is to keep tending your inner garden with awareness, diligence, and compassion. The silence you've cultivated provides the perfect environment for this inner work. It's in the quiet that you can hear your thoughts most clearly, challenge them most effectively, and plant the seeds of your desired reality with the greatest intention. By taking control of your inner kingdom, by mastering your thoughts, you seize the reins of your destiny. You are no longer a victim of your own mind, but its conscious creator. This is the path to true freedom, to lasting success, and to a life lived with purpose and power. This is a cornerstone of the Power of Silence book. Chapter 20. The Helm of Your Emotions, Achieving Emotional Regulation. This Manage Your Emotions audiobook chapter teaches emotional control, not suppression, but understanding and regulating feelings. Learn to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. A lesson often shared in Denzel Washington motivation speeches. You've begun to master your thoughts, to cultivate that inner kingdom. But thoughts are often intertwined with a force even more potent, more visceral, your emotions. Emotions are the weather patterns of your inner world, sometimes calm and sunny, other times turbulent and stormy. Left unchecked, they can capsize. Your best intentions derail your progress and lead you into treacherous waters. This chapter is your guide to taking the helm. This is the Manage Your Emotions audiobook segment that teaches emotional control. Not suppression, but understanding and regulating feelings. Suppression is like trying to hold a beach ball underwater. Eventually, it will burst to the surface, with even greater force. True mastery comes from acknowledging your emotions, understanding their messages, and then choosing how to navigate them with wisdom and strength. Learn to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. A lesson often shared in Denzel Washington motivation speeches, and one that is critical to living a powerful, purposeful life. Your emotions are not your enemy. They are messengers. Fear signals potential danger. Anger signals a boundary violated or an injustice. Joy signals alignment and fulfillment. The key is to listen to the message without becoming overwhelmed by the messenger. The power of silence you've been cultivating as your greatest ally in this endeavor. It creates the crucial pause, the space between feeling an emotion and acting on it. Here's how you achieve emotional regulation. Awareness. Naming the wave. The first step is to recognize what you're feeling. Many people are emotionally illiterate, unable to distinguish between, say, frustration and disappointment, or anxiety and excitement. Technique. When a strong emotion arises, pause. Use your inner silence to identify it. Name it. I'm feeling angry. I am feeling anxious. Simply naming the emotion creates a degree of separation and reduces its intensity. This is a core benefit of silence. Acceptance. Riding the wave, not fighting it. Once you've named the emotion, accept its presence without judgment. Don't tell yourself you shouldn't feel a certain way. Emotions are natural human responses. Fighting them or judging them only intensifies them. Technique. Acknowledge the feeling. It's okay that I'm feeling angry right now. This doesn't mean you condone the cause of the anger, but you accept the emotion itself as a present reality. Investigation. Understanding the source of the wave with awareness and acceptance, you can then explore the why. What triggered this emotion? Is it a current situation, or is it tied to a past experience or an unhelpful thought pattern, as explored in the Master Your Thoughts chapter? Technique. In quiet reflection, ask yourself, what thought preceded this feeling? What situation am I responding to? Is my response proportionate to the event? This introspection, best done in silence, provides valuable insight. The power of the pause. Creating space before action. This is where the power of silence truly shines. The impulsive reaction is driven by raw emotion. The thoughtful response is born from a conscious pause. This pause is your moment of power, your opportunity to choose. Technique. When a strong emotion hits, commit to a deliberate pause before speaking or acting. Take a few deep breaths. Count to 10. If necessary, physically remove yourself from the situation temporarily. This creates the space to move from reactivity to responsiveness. This is a powerful mindset for self-control. Choosing your response, steering the ship with the clarity gained from the pause, you can now choose a response that aligns with your values, your goals, and the person you want to be, rather than one dictated by the heat of the moment. Technique. Ask yourself, what is the most constructive way to respond here? What outcome do I desire? How can I express myself effectively without escalating the situation or causing unnecessary harm? This is where you control your words based on emotional intelligence, healthy outlets, releasing emotional energy. Emotions carry energy. If strong emotions are not processed and released healthily, they can fester. Find constructive ways to channel or release this energy. Technique. Physical exercise, journaling, talking to a trusted friend or therapist, creative expression, music, or diet or meditation can all be healthy outlets. Emotional regulation is not about being emotionless. It's about being emotionally intelligent. It's about understanding that you are not your emotions. You are the one experiencing them. And as the one experiencing them, you have the power to guide your response to them. This capacity for emotional regulation is what separates the mature from the immature, the resilient from the fragile. It allows you to navigate conflict with Grace, to handle setbacks with composure and to build stronger, healthier relationships. It is the mark of true inner strength, a strength often demonstrated by those, like Denzel Washington, who exude a calm, powerful presence even under pressure. The silence you practice daily, in meditation, in mindful moments, in choosing not to react, is your training ground for emotional regulation. It builds the mental muscle needed to pause, to reflect, and to choose. Take the helm of your emotions. You are the captain of your inner world. Navigate wisely. This is a vital lesson. From the Power of Silence book, Chapter 21, The Blueprint for Abundance. How to Build Financial Discipline. Financial Mastery. Audiobook principles begin here. Financial discipline is about managing money wisely, avoiding impulsive spending, and making choices aligned with long-term goals. This is foundational for a wealth-building strategies audiobook. You've journeyed through the realms of silence, mastered the art of listening, taken control of your words, your thoughts, and begun to helm your emotions. These are the pillars of inner power. But the power of silence and the self-mastery it cultivates are not meant to exist in a vacuum. They are designed to empower you in every facet of your life, including one that causes immense stress for many, yet holds the key to incredible freedom: your finances. Welcome to the practical application of your inner strength. The Financial Mastery audiobook principles truly begin here. Because just as an undisciplined mind leads to chaos, an undisciplined approach to money leads to scarcity, debt, and a life lived under constant pressure. The antidote? Financial discipline. Financial discipline is about managing money wisely, avoiding impulsive spending, and making choices aligned with your long-term goals. It's not about deprivation, it's about empowerment. It's about becoming the conscious architect of your financial future, rather than a victim of circumstance or fleeting desires. This chapter is foundational for any wealth-building strategies audiobook and for anyone seeking true abundance. The same principles of awareness, intention, and control that you've applied to your inner world are directly applicable here. Financial awareness. Knowing where your money goes, the financial silence. Just as you learn to observe your thoughts in silence, you must now observe your money. Most people have no real idea where their money truly goes. They operate in a financial fog. Technique. For 1 month, track every single penny you spend. No judgment, just observation. Use an app, a notebook, whatever works. This act of financial silence, observing without immediate action, will reveal your spending patterns, your habits, and the areas where your money is leaking away. This is the financial equivalent of mindfulness, budgeting, the deliberate allocation of resources, speaking with financial purpose. A budget is not a restriction, it's a plan. It's you telling your money where to go instead of wondering where it went. It's about speaking with financial purpose. Technique. Based on your financial awareness, create a budget. Allocate funds for needs, housing, food, utilities, wants, entertainment, hobbies, savings, and debt repayment. The 50-30-20 rule, 50% needs, 30% wants, 20% savings, debt, is a good starting point. But tailor it to your specific goals. Conquering impulsive spending, emotional regulation with money. Impulsive spending is often emotional spending, buying things to feel better, to alleviate boredom, or due to social pressure. This is where your emotional regulation skills come into play. Technique. Implement a pause rule for non-essential purchases. If you want something over a certain amount, wait 24 hours, 48 hours, or even a week. Often, the urge will pass. Ask yourself, do I truly need this, or do I just want it? Will this align with my long-term financial goals? This is managing your financial emotions. Setting clear. Financial goals. Your financial visualization. What do you want your money to do for? You retire early, buy a home, travel, be debt-free. Without clear goals, your financial efforts will lack direction. Technique. Define your short-term, mid-term, and long-term financial goals. Make them SMART. Specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time-bound. Write them down. Visualize. Achieving them. This provides the motivation to stay disciplined, prioritizing savings and investing, paying your future self first. This is a non-negotiable principle of financial discipline. Before you pay anyone else, pay your future self by allocating a portion of your income to savings and investments. Technique. Automate your savings. Set up automatic transfers from your checking account to your savings and investment accounts. On payday, this removes the temptation to spend it and ensures consistency. This is a core daily habit for success. Managing and eliminating debt. Strategically, high-interest debt like credit cards is a wealth destroyer. Financial discipline requires a clear plan to tackle it. Technique. List all your debts, their interest, rates and minimum payments. Consider strategies like the debt snowball, paying smallest to largest for motivation, or debt avalanche, paying highest interest rate first to save money. Make more than the minimum payments whenever possible. Living below your means, the foundation of financial strength. This isn't about being cheap. It's about being smart. It means consciously choosing to spend less than you earn, creating a surplus that can be used for saving, investing, and achieving your goals. This creates a buffer and reduces financial stress. Financial discipline is not a punishment. It is the pathway to freedom. It is the application of the same quiet strength, focused intention, and self-control you've cultivated through the power of silence to the world of your finances. The undisciplined are slaves to their impulses and to the whims of their bank balance. The disciplined are masters of their resources, architects of their abundance. This isn't just about accumulating money, it's about creating choices, security, and the ability to live life on your own terms. Build this blueprint. Practice these principles with the same dedication you've applied to mastering your inner world. The rewards, a life of financial peace, security, and freedom, are immeasurable. This is a fundamental chapter in the Power of Silence book, showing how inner mastery translates to outer abundance. Chapter 22. Investing in tomorrow, securing your financial future. This Invest in Your Future audiobook chapter focuses on making your money work for you. Understand risk, diversification, and the power of starting early to build lasting wealth. You've laid the blueprint for financial discipline. You're learning to manage your money wisely, to control spending, to live within your means. These are commendable, essential steps. But financial discipline alone, while crucial for stability, often isn't enough to build true, lasting wealth and secure the kind of future you dream of. To do that, you must move beyond simply saving money to actively growing it. You must learn to invest. This Invest in Your Future audiobook chapter is your introduction to that powerful concept. It's about making your money work for you, so you're not solely reliant on trading your time for income. It's about understanding the fundamental principles of risk, diversification, and the profound power of starting early to build lasting wealth. This is where your disciplined savings begin to multiply, creating a pathway to genuine financial freedom. Investing can seem daunting, complex, even intimidating to the uninitiated. The world of stocks, bonds, and markets can feel like a foreign language. But like any skill, it can be learned, and the principles once understood are surprisingly straightforward. The power of silence you've cultivated, the patience, the clarity, the ability to filter noise, will be invaluable assets on this journey. The power of compounding. The eighth wonder of the world, often attributed to Albert Einstein, compound. Interest is the phenomenon where your investment earnings start earning their own earnings. It's a snowball effect that over time can transform modest sums into significant wealth. Principle. The earlier you start investing, even with small amounts, the more powerful compounding becomes. Time is your greatest ally. Don't wait for the perfect moment or a large sum of money. Start now. This is a key wealth-building strategy. Understanding risk. No reward without it. Calculated, not reckless. Every investment carries some level of risk. The key is to understand it, manage it, and align it with your goals and your comfort level, your risk tolerance. Principle. Generally, higher potential rewards come with higher risk. Younger investors with a longer time horizon can often afford to take on more risk for greater growth potential. Those closer to retirement may opt for lower risk investments to preserve capital. Your previous work on emotional regulation will help you handle the inevitable ups and downs of the market without making panic-driven decisions. Diversification. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Diversification means spreading your investments across different asset classes, stocks, bonds, real estate, etc., and within those classes, different industries, companies, geographic regions. Principle. This strategy helps reduce overall risk. If one investment performs poorly, others may do well, cushioning the impact. A well-diversified portfolio is more resilient to market shocks. This is a foundational element of responsible investing. Long-term vision. Investing is a marathon, not a sprint. The stock market, for example, can be volatile in the short term. Trying to time the market or chase quick profits is a recipe for disaster for most people. Principle. Successful investing is typically a long-term game. Focus on consistent contributions over years, even decades. Weather the short-term fluctuations with the patience and steadfastness you've learned through the power of silence. Don't let fear or greed dictate your actions. Vehicles for investing. Where to put your money. There are many ways to invest. Retirement accounts, 401ks, IRAs, often offer tax advantages and are designed for long-term growth. Stocks, equities, represent ownership in a company, can offer high growth but also higher volatility. Bonds, fixed income, essentially loans to governments or corporations, generally lower risk and lower return than stocks, mutual funds and ETFs. Exchange-traded funds allow you to invest in a diversified basket of stocks or bonds with a single purchase. Great for beginners. Real estate can provide rental income and appreciation, but requires significant capital and management. Principle. Research and understand these options. You might start simple with low-cost index funds or ETFs, which track a broad market index, dollar-cost averaging, consistency over timing. This strategy involves investing a fixed amount of money at regular intervals, e.g., monthly, regardless of market fluctuations. Principle. You buy more shares when prices are low and fewer when prices are high. This averages out your purchase price over time and removes the emotional stress of trying to guess market peaks and troughs. This aligns perfectly with the daily habits for success theme. Continuous learning. Financial education is an investment in itself. The world of investing is always evolving. Commit to ongoing learning. Read books. Follow reputable financial news. Consider consulting with a fee-only financial advisor. Principle. The more you know, the more confident and competent you become as an investor. Your ability to filter noise, honed through silence, will help you discern credible information from hype. Investing is not gambling. Gambling is based on chance. Investing, done wisely, is based on research, strategy, discipline, and time. It's about participating in the growth of economies and businesses. The financial discipline you built in the previous chapter provides the capital to invest. The emotional regulation you've mastered helps you stay calm during market swings. The patience you've cultivated allows you to think long-term. The power of silence provides the clarity to make informed decisions rather than impulsive ones. Start today. No matter how small, secure your tomorrow by making your money work for you now. This isn't just about numbers on a spreadsheet. It's about building a future where you have choices, freedom, and the ability to live life on your own terms. That is the ultimate return on investment. This is a crucial step towards a financial freedom mindset and a core message of The Power of Silence book, Leveraging Inner Strength for Outer Prosperity. Chapter 23, The Mindful Approach to Money, Conscious Spending and Value Alignment. Mindful spending is about intentionality, aligning expenses with values and goals. This chapter helps cultivate a healthy relationship with money, a key for a financial freedom mindset. This is about how to change mentality regarding finances. You've learned to build financial discipline, to create a budget, and even to embark on the journey of investing for your future. These are the mechanics of financial management. But beneath the numbers, the spreadsheets, and the strategies lies something more profound: your relationship with money. And like any relationship, it can be healthy, supportive, and empowering, or it can be fraught with anxiety, guilt, and misunderstanding. This chapter is about elevating that relationship. It's about moving beyond mere management to mindful spending, a conscious, intentional approach where every financial decision, every dollar spent, is an expression of your deepest values and a step towards your most cherished goals. Mindful spending is about intentionality, aligning expenses with values and goals. This isn't about deprivation. It's about profound satisfaction derived from conscious choice. This chapter helps cultivate a healthy relationship with money, a key for a financial freedom mindset, and fundamentally, this is about how to change mentality regarding finances. The power of silence, with its emphasis on awareness, introspection, and presence, is the perfect foundation for mindful spending. Just as silence helps you hear your inner thoughts, it can help you understand the true motivations and consequences of your financial actions. Beyond the transaction, money as energy and choice. Money is more than paper or digital numbers. It represents your time, your energy, your labor. When you spend it, you're exchanging a piece of your life force for something else. Mindful approach. Before making a purchase, pause. Connect with the energy exchange. Is this item or experience truly worth the hours of your life it took to earn the money for it? This financial silence before spending introduces a powerful filter, aligning spending with core values, the value litmus test. What do you truly value in life? Family, experiences, learning, health, simplicity, contribution. Often, our spending habits are disconnected from these core values, leading to a sense of dissatisfaction despite material accumulation. Mindful approach. Identify your top 3-5 core values. Before making a non-essential purchase, ask, does this purchase align with my deepest values? Will it genuinely enhance my life in a way that matters to me, or is it a fleeting want driven by impulse or external pressure? If the answer is no, silence the urge to buy. Conscious consumption, needs versus wants, revisited with depth. We've touched on needs versus wants. Mindful spending takes this deeper. It's not just about survival needs, but about what truly nourishes your life versus what merely distracts or clutters it. Mindful approach. Regularly assess your possessions and recurring expenses. Are they adding genuine value, or are they burdens? Practice gratitude for what you have, which often diminishes the craving for more. This is a benefit of silence, the quiet contentment that reduces mindless acquisition. The emotional undercurrents of spending, financial self-awareness. As discussed in Financial Discipline, much spending is emotional. Mindful spending requires an ongoing awareness of these emotional triggers. Mindful approach: when you feel the urge to spend, especially impulsively, pause and check in with your emotional state. Are you stressed, bored, sad, or trying to keep up with others? Acknowledge the emotion without judgment, and then choose a healthier way to address it rather than retail therapy. This is why silence is important. It allows this inner emotional check-in, the joy of intentional deprivation, and subsequent appreciation. Sometimes, consciously choosing not to buy something, even if you can afford it, can increase your appreciation for what you already have, or make a future, more aligned purchase even more meaningful. Mindful approach: experiment with delaying gratification, or even forgoing certain wants for a period. Notice how it feels. Often the desire fades, or you find contentment without it. Mindful budgeting, a plan for conscious allocation. Your budget becomes a tool not just for control, but for conscious allocation towards what you value. Mindful approach: when creating or reviewing your budget, allocate specific funds for experiences, learning, giving, or things that genuinely align with your values, not just bills and fleeting wants. This transforms budgeting from a chore into an act of self-care and purpose, breaking free from consumer culture, defining your own enough. We are bombarded by messages telling us we need more, better, newer. Mindful spending is an act of rebellion against this mindful approach. In quiet reflection, a gift of the power of silence, define what enough means for you. When do you have sufficient material comfort to focus on deeper forms of wealth, relationships, experiences, peace of mind? This is crucial for a financial freedom mindset. Changing your mentality regarding finances is not just about adopting new techniques. It's about a fundamental shift in consciousness. It's about bringing the same presence, awareness, and intentionality to your financial life that you are learning to bring to your thoughts, emotions, and words. When your spending is aligned with your values, every purchase or non-purchase becomes an affirmation of who you are and what you stand for. Money ceases to be a source of stress and becomes a tool for creating a life of meaning, purpose, and genuine fulfillment. This mindful approach to money, nurtured by the principles of the Power of Silence book, is the key to a truly abundant and healthy financial life. Chapter 24. The Unwavering Path. Consistency as the key to all mastery. Consistency is key in silence, thought control, emotional regulation, and financial discipline. Small, consistent actions compound over time, leading to significant results. These are daily habits for success. We stand near the culmination of our journey through the power of silence and its application to mastering your inner and outer world. You've explored the depths of quiet strength, the architecture of purposeful words, the governance of your thoughts and emotions, and the blueprints for financial discipline and mindful abundance. These are powerful tools, potent principles. But even the sharpest axe will not fell a mighty tree with a single swing. The grandest vision will not manifest overnight. There is one more ingredient, one overarching principle that binds all these practices together and transforms them from fleeting efforts into life-altering mastery. That principle, my friend, is consistency. Consistency is key in silence, thought control, emotional regulation, and financial discipline. It is the unwavering path, the steady hand on the tiller that guides you through calm seas and stormy weather alike. It is the understanding That small, consistent actions, compounded over time, lead to significant, often astonishing results. These are the bedrock of daily habits for success. Think of it, a few minutes of daily silence and meditation, practiced consistently, builds a mountain of inner peace and clarity over months and years, consistently challenging negative thoughts and affirming positive ones gradually rewires your brain for success and happiness. Regularly practicing emotional regulation techniques day by day forges an unshakable emotional resilience. Consistent saving and mindful spending, month after month, builds a fortress of financial security and freedom. It's not the grand, sporadic gesture that transforms your life. It's the small, disciplined, consistent effort, the compounding power of habit. Consistency turns intentional actions into ingrained habits, and habits once formed require less willpower, less conscious effort. They become your default operating system. The daily habits for success we've discussed, from your morning silence to your mindful spending choices, gain their power through repetition. Building momentum. Each consistent action, no matter how small, builds momentum. It's like pushing a heavy flywheel. The initial efforts are hard, but once it starts turning, it gains its own momentum, making subsequent efforts easier and more impactful. Consistency keeps that flywheel spinning. This provides immense motivation. Weathering the storms of life. Life is unpredictable. There will be days you feel unmotivated, tired, or overwhelmed. It's on these days that the habit of consistency truly proves its worth. Even a small token effort, a shorter meditation, a quick review of your budget, a conscious pause before reacting, keeps you on the path, prevents you from losing ground entirely. This is a benefit of silence and discipline combined, overcoming the plateau of progress. In any journey of mastery, there will be plateaus, periods where it feels like you're not making progress despite your efforts. This is where many people give up. But consistency, the unwavering commitment to the process even when visible results are scarce, is what carries you through these plateaus to the next breakthrough. Why silence is important during these times is that it allows for reflection and renewed commitment rather than frustrated abandonment. Forging character and discipline. Consistency is not just about achieving external goals. It's about the person you become in the process. The discipline required to show up day after day, especially when it's hard, forges a character of strength, resilience, and unwavering resolve. This is true personal growth. The unwavering path versus the scattered detour. The person who dabbles. A little silence here, a burst of positive thinking there, a sporadic attempt at budgeting, rarely achieves lasting change. Their efforts are scattered, their path winding and inefficient. The person who chooses an unwavering path of consistent application, however, makes steady, undeniable progress towards their chosen destination. This Power of Silence book is not meant to be a one-time read that offers a quick fix. It's a manual for a way of life, a life built on the consistent application of these principles. Consistency in your practice of silence. Make it non-negotiable, even if it's just for a few minutes each day. Consistency in mastering your thoughts. Daily vigilance and redirection. Consistency in emotional regulation. Applying the pause and choosing your response. Every time. Consistency in financial discipline, sticking to your budget, saving regularly, investing patiently. Consistency in speaking with purpose. Mindful communication in all your interactions. Consistency in trusting the process. Patiently, allowing life to unfold. The journey to mastery is a marathon, not a sprint. There will be days when you falter. Forgive yourself, recalibrate, and get back on the unwavering path of consistency. It's not about perfection, it's about persistent, purposeful effort. Let consistency be your silent vow, your daily commitment. It is the quiet force that transforms good intentions into tangible realities, fleeting insights into ingrained wisdom, and sporadic efforts into a life of profound power, purpose, and peace. This is the ultimate expression of the power of silence in action, a steady, unwavering commitment that speaks louder than any declaration. Conclusion: the silent victory, living a life of purpose and power. You now hold the keys. By mastering the power of silence, your words, thoughts, emotions, and finances, you've unlocked a life of true success and fulfillment. The journey requires ongoing practice. Start your day right, listen every day to these principles, and watch your life transform. This is the best motivation, the best motivational speech you can give yourself. We have journeyed together through the profound depths and practical applications of the power of silence. From the quiet battlefields of your inner mind to the tangible arenas of your relationships and finances, you've been given the blueprints, the strategies, the foundational truths. You now hold the keys. The keys to unlock a life not of noisy desperation, but of quiet strength. The keys to move beyond the superficial and connect with a power that is authentic, enduring, and deeply resonant. By mastering the power of silence, your words, your thoughts, your emotions, and your finances, you've unlocked the potential for a life of true success and fulfillment. Not the fleeting, superficial success the world often chases, but a success defined by inner peace, purposeful action, genuine connection, and unwavering resilience. This isn't the end. It's a powerful beginning. The principles laid out in this Power of Silence book, the lessons you've absorbed, are not meant to be mere intellectual curiosities. They are calls to action, invitations to a transformed way of being. The journey requires ongoing practice. Mastery is not a destination reached, but a path walked daily, with intention and commitment. Remember the benefits of silence, clarity, control, wisdom, and the ability to hear the whispers of truth amidst the world's roar. Continue to control your words, audiobook style, making every utterance purposeful and impactful. Persist in your quest to master your thoughts, audiobook style, for your mind is the architect of your reality. Deepen your ability to manage your emotions, audiobook style, achieving regulation and responding with wisdom. Solidify your financial mastery, audiobook habits, building discipline and investing in your future with a financial freedom mindset. These are not separate disciplines, but interconnected facets of a singular, powerful truth. True strength, true power, true fulfillment are cultivated from within, often in the sacred space of silence. So, how do you continue this transformation? How do you ensure these keys unlock lasting change? Start your day right. Before the world rushes in with its demands, carve out a few moments for quiet reflection, for setting your intention, for connecting with that unshaken core. Let silence be the first voice you hear. Listen every day to these principles. Revisit this Power of Silence audiobook. Let the messages sink deeper. Repetition is the mother of skill and the father of conviction. The more you immerse yourself in this wisdom, the more it becomes a part of who you are, and watch your life transform. It may not happen overnight. The greatest victories are often won through sustained, quiet effort. But as you consistently apply these truths, you will see the shifts, you will feel the change. You will begin to operate from a place of power you never knew you possessed. This is the best motivation, the best motivational speech you can give yourself. Not through fleeting hype, but through the enduring wisdom of self-mastery, rooted in the power of silence. You are the architect of your destiny. You are the captain of your soul. The world needs more people who operate from a place of quiet strength, thoughtful action, and genuine integrity. Be one of them. The victory you achieve will not be loud or boastful. It will be a silent victory, a profound sense of peace, purpose, and power that radiates from within and transforms everything around you. Your journey continues. Thank you for embarking on this journey with the Silent Victor. The principles shared here are timeless, and their power unfolds with consistent application. To continue fueling your personal growth and to access more motivation like this, we invite you to become part of our community. Subscribe to the audiobooks. Loe channel on YouTube for more full audiobooks, motivational speeches, and wisdom to help you master your thoughts, manage your emotions, and achieve your financial freedom mindset. Don't miss out on content that can help you start your day right and provide the best motivation for your journey. If this Power of Silence audiobook resonated with you, please like this video. Your support helps us reach more people seeking to transform their lives. Share this message with anyone you believe could benefit from understanding the power of silence. Spread the wisdom, and finally, we want to hear from you. What was your biggest takeaway from this book? What aspect of silence or self-mastery are you most eager to implement? Ask your questions and share your insights in the comments below. Let's continue the conversation and support each other on this unwavering path to a life of purpose and power. Until next time, embrace the silence, live with intention, and claim your silent victory. The Silent Victor. Mastering Life Through Stillness, Strength and Self-Control, written by Peter A. Saul, published by Audiobooks LOA.